And by the sound of it, all these people are thinking the exact same thing. There's only one way we can settle this. And there's only one place to do it. The grandest stage of them all. Jimmy, you and your brother against me and my brother for the undisputed tag team championship at WrestleMania.
This might be our one shot to put this Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens problem in the dirt. So yeah, brother versus brother at WrestleMania, we accept. As a matter of fact, we ain't gotta wait till Mania. We're gonna see you right now.
Here we go.
It's about to all kick off on Monday Night Raw.
Top of Wrestling with your hosts, OGM and the Professor.
Good shit. Late to every episode. Late so much, I'm going to have to buy you a pregnancy test.
Bob Roode.
I want to be a podcaster. Yay!
His mama named him Kenta. I'm going to call him Kenta.
Dynamite drop in, Monty. That broadcasting school is really paying off for you.
You're so high you don't even know it.
Ahoy, my boy. You ready for a Scotch ad?
We don't know anything about him. The only thing he's got in his wallet is a bunch of names of whorehouses.
That's Flair!
Probably look like Jim Duggan digging the tape out of his crotch.
Benoit, enjoy my wife.
That's a bold statement, Cotton.
Oh my God, mine just stopped recording. No, we're good. We're still recording.
What a dick.
I'd cease and desist me. I'd cease and desist me hard.
I need a minute to recover off that.
What kind of game is it?
War games. Let a war game.
You're our impressionist.
Yeah, I know. That's the only thing I've said in the last half hour.
Bark like a dog.
Oh, jinx. Holy shit. How did that actually happen?
Here we go.
Good Wrestling Day! And it's WrestleMania week, baby! Welcome back to the Top of Wrestling. I am the Professor, Mark Fantasia. Got a lot to go over today, of course. We got our news, we have our Monday Night Wars, but of course, the biggest thing that we're going to be talking about, we got WrestleMania 39 predictions. We got Night 1, Night 2. What's the order? We don't know. Other than a couple of matches that are set in stone, we don't really know the order, and we're going to get to that as we do. We are also going to be talking about our Bring It to the Table, this day in history. We got a lot, so let's just dive in and start unfolding. So, as of this recording, as I said, we don't have any news for the card for Mania. You know, we're going to get into that. But some other news. We got Andy Kaufman is being inducted. It's not even phasing you for some fucking reason.
I was just waiting. I was just going to wait and be like, ladies and gentlemen, ODM.
I was going to see how long. And you're just staring at the screen. I was like, you're not even selling it, you dickhead. I figured because last week I said,
You kayfabe and
good
son
wrestling
of a bitch.
day. Here he is. And now this one I try. You fuck. All right, let's really get into some news. Welcome. How are you?
Oh, I was great. I was just, before we got started, I was listening to some music. It was actually my favorite mix tap.
Mix tap?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I told you I was going to
Jesus.
throw it in there.
It took me a second. I'll even let you almost repeat. The person who put themselves in retirement, but not for domestic violence.
He probably does get beat by her.
Oh my God, it reminds me like in Hangover. Hey, and she beats him. Hey, that was one time, and she is strong-willed. All right. Yes. Good job to you. I like that. Hey, I forgot. He does like jamming out to his own mix tap. All right. Look it. As I did bring up already, we don't have any other than like who's opening, which is Cena in theory for night 1. And we know that Rhodes and Roman are going to be closing night 2. It's been said that Ripley and Charlotte are closing. However, do you want to do that to yourself? Just saying. Shit. Why not close with the tag team championship? Right now, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that is carried more than Charlotte showing up for no reason, taking the title from Ronda Rousey. I'm just saying, it doesn't need to be a main event.
I understand what you're saying.
Hang on. One last thing. Edge won the fucking Royal Rumble. He opened WrestleMania against Del Rio. Sheamus won Royal Rumble, opened against Daniel Bryan. Not unheard of.
Sure.
Not close.
100%. But in my mind, yes, you can make the argument that the Usos versus KO and Sami is a main event match. It definitely has the story to back it up. For me, Ripley versus Charlotte, we got hosed the first time around, and it was still a fantastic match for a couple reasons. One, pandemic, no crowd. It made their selling sound even better, especially Ripley. But Charlotte winning that title from her was ridiculous and didn't need to happen. But to me, this
cool
is just
because Charlotte called her shot and went to the NXT Championship. Rhea called her shot this time and went to Charlotte. So, I mean, it's great storyline-wise. I really get it. I just don't
And I think it's going to be a top-tier match.
Main event caliber.
I think it is. I think it's 100% main event. They're both superstars. They're literally both stars. And they're probably the two best women wrestlers, at the very least, in WWE.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Damn right.
Let me ask you this question. Does night one technically matter? You know, like, to me, I'm an old school guy. WrestleMania, it's Sunday. It's the one night, and the big thing you're there for is that main event match, right? You got Rock, Cena. You got Triple H, Michaels, and Benoit. Everything we've seen. Anything that's before it is just a pre-show to me. I feel like night one, I mean, like last year, yeah, we got Cody showing up. It was cool. But in my mind, I'm like, well, we still got tomorrow to go. For some reason, it feels like it's underwhelming to me. I'm not a fan of a two-night thing anymore.
I'm not a fan.
I wasn't to begin with.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. It's not because I would say I feel underwhelmed. I honestly, I feel like it's overwhelmed. It is hard. It is hard enough for us to watch the Monday Night Wars for this, and then consume at least some of the current product.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
On top
of
pay-per-views.
413 hours. You know what I mean? It just...
Yeah. So, I mean, it's tough because that's 2 of your evenings. That's the weekend. And when you're old like us, you know, you fucking actually have to do stuff on the weekend because during the week after you get out of work, you're like, well, fuck this nonsense. Where's the chicken nuggets?
So you and I talked a little bit in texting prior to recording today. You know, as of this recording, we don't have a card. Now, maybe there is one when the release of this episode comes out Wednesday afternoon. However, I will say I like and I don't like the aspect of it. I don't like the aspect because, I don't know, I just want to know what I'm about to watch each night if I'm going to be watching a wrestling pay-per-view. Is it worth for me to put my time into if you're going to put all the duds in one night? And, like, you know what I mean? Like, if they put those two worthless fatal four-way tag team matches, Brock and Omos, all that shit on night one, you're going to be like, oh, I just wasted my entire Saturday fucking night.
Right, but, I mean, typically you'll know by then, so you can plan accordingly. And, I mean, that's the other thing is, like, you know, you can somewhat plan accordingly. You can look at the card and you can be like, okay, well, these are the matches, so there's only 2 matches here I really need to watch, so if one of them's not on, I'm just going to go do something.
Well, now here's my devil's advocate to what I was saying, though, is why I can like it. If you only announce Cody, in theory, Rhodes, and Reigns, and that's it, have they actually officially announced that it's Ripley and Charlotte in the main event? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember if it was officially announced. I feel like it was, but then again.
Well, it's funny because her WrestleMania promo where she did the Stranger Things, and you're confirmed it. You were right on that. It was Stranger Things where she crushes a can with her mind. And it said something about main event in WrestleMania. So that could have been the cue right there that it was that. Anyway, even if it is just those 3 matches, it almost brings a little more exciting element to watching each night because you don't know which match you're going to get.
Right.
And then when they come up, maybe you won't be disappointed. Maybe you will, maybe you won't, but it could almost get you excited and then go, holy shit, now tomorrow we got this. I'm trying to play both sides of it, seeing if it's worth it. I kind of almost want them to not tell me anything else other than those 3 matches and go into it. Maybe I'll be happier to watch it. Because then if I prejudge and I go, I only want to see Edge and Finn Balor on night 1, am I going to watch it or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. We'll see how confident you feel about that approach once we get to the card.
I know. You're going to hear me like Sunday at noon. These fuckers, I still don't know what's going on tonight. Why even watching this or on Saturday? I did half mention this already. Andy Kaufman is set to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and as well as now Stacy Keibler, as we heard of as well. Kaufman, not just all the stuff with Lawler, but I mean, he had that thing. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the My Breakfast with Freddie Blassie. He did it was like a spoof of an old wrestling bit. And dude, the guy did a lot for wrestling and a crossover celebrity wise. I'm happy that he's finally getting in. They haven't, to this point, I haven't read if anybody has been said to be the one inducting him, but I can only assume it's Jerry Lawler. The only alternate I would give would be the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, because
that's actually a really good call.
You know, he was involved with that storyline, huge.
Oh yeah,
with that Memphis Wrestling and Jerry Lawler. So I'm good for either, but I'm just excited that he's getting in, and Stacy Keibler's actually being inducted by her kids, the Keibler elves.
Boo!
I made myself laugh. Jesus. Whatever. It's funny we both put in something about the following person. You know, for a person who doesn't wrestle, he gets more news time than anybody else.
Yeah.
And you know who I'm talking about? It's CM Punk. I even took a screenshot because I thought it was hysterical. I was on Wrestling Inc. on my phone, and out of the maybe 6 to 8 articles that show all at once before scrolling or whatever, all of them were Punk, but maybe one.
Wow.
Like all different things. And I was like, he's not even wrestling. That's good for you. He put out an Instagram post, and he was talking about the Steve Caron Chronicle book. And he talks about how back in the day, Gator and Coco, whoever they may be, got into a locker room fight. And Lawler was in charge. So this is probably Memphis kind of area.
I might be Coco Ware.
Well, maybe it was. Yeah, that would make some sense. I just didn't know who Gator was, so I kind of completely... Coco, I was like, maybe he's like a Japanese wrestler. I don't know. Lawler pulled him in the office and made them all squash it the next day. And they got into like an actual fight, right? And they all squashed the next day. And it was his little suggestion, nod, or whatever, I would assume, to the all-out media scrum. Take it away, ODM.
Yeah, well,
because it didn't stop.
More Punk. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I guess he's just letting everybody know he's still out there. So basically, CM Punk posted something on Instagram, and it was in response to something that Meltzer said. Meltzer posted on the Figure 4 weekly message board, basically said that Punk did not agree to lose the title to Moxley after his foot injury. So this is the post from Dave Meltzer. Do you know why they didn't advertise Punk versus Moxley longer and why it had a short build? Because Punk agreed to it. Then AEW got a legal letter saying he wasn't down with it and wasn't doing it, and they didn't know if he'd come until Tony put his foot down. There are a lot of nice things I can say about him, and you can absolutely argue his position on Moxley was correct, but you can't argue he willingly did what he was asked in that scenario. So Punk responded again. It was on Instagram. It's out there. He took it down, but everybody sees it because I've got the whole fucking.
This is that real long one.
Yeah, I've got it right here in front of me.
I just have to say something before you even mention or before you read it all. The length of it and how it looked. I've seen so many great memes where they've turned it into like, yes, God damn it, that was so good.
It's the best.
It was the best. As soon as I saw it, I go, well done, internet.
It was fantastic. All right, so here it is. Sigh. I wasn't cleared to wrestle yet. Then the plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I'd explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie. And I thought the idea...
I have to get to that. I promise you. We have to talk about that Rocky part in a minute. Go ahead.
I thought the idea sucked, but if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I'd never experienced someone refusing to lose to me, Punk continued. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this is what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said okay, but I needed to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change, but I'll never put a company above my health ever again.
He said, I will never put anything above my health again on the 2014 Colt Cabana fucking podcast. It's just occurring to me right now. I'm just saying that. I've listened to that thing a couple of times. And talking about the staph infection, the baseball-sized thing that was on his back.
Yeah.
This is a work. You don't find this to be coincidental? Probably the same exact time that this dude is pretty much going to be cleared of his injuries.
Who the fuck knows, dude?
Oh, that's your answer?
It is my answer, because I'm not going to be a mark and be like, oh, he's coming back, and this is just like his promo to come back, or fucking...
No. Hang on. I'm not trying to compare anything from the past. I'm saying, if he's going to go to this length and talk about all this stuff, I really, really, really feel it's a work if he's going to be tweeting about it all.
He's never been shy to put his opinions out there on social media. Never been shy.
I agree, but then again, he only talks and mentions certain things, like why he's like something big like this is the same effect of him walking out the day after Royal Rumble 2014.
I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I've seen him post other shit where he'll just blatantly call people out. He ain't got no shame. I'm not even saying it in a bad way.
I'm not talking him calling Miz a fucking dork. I'm talking him after the 2014 Rumble thing. He waited all the way to Cabana's podcast to actually give his side of the story. It's like the media scrum, and now we're talking about his injury all of a sudden and him dropping the title. It went from the media scrum and a fight with that to this all of a sudden.
I mean, he's posted.
I'm just saying
stuff.
it all seems
you're a mark.
too...
Mark!
All right, whatever. When you scroll down to the bottom of the doc, and you end up seeing the part that says things we predicted, and it says CM Punk came back and it was all a work.
Are you going to write that right next to Sami Zayn wins the title?
Wow.
I challenge you
All
to
right,
a
man,
duo.
just move on, please. I literally had nothing left to say. I just sat there. I was like, wow, got me. Motherfucker got me. Got him!
Well, you know, it was great. I was kayfabe, pal. I was looking at the document when it was starting to come together, and I saw you had some Impact events for the WrestleMania week.
Yeah.
And I saw one match, and I'm like, huh, well, that one's changing, I'm guessing. Josh Alexander had to vacate the Impact World title due to torn triceps. Damn shame.
Longest reign. They said it's the longest reign in Impact history.
Yeah.
And I want to say that is Impact Wrestling, not TNA. I'm
Right.
saying since it's been Impact.
I think
because
you're right.
it was like a year, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Bobby Roode crushed that one, and so did, if not Bully Ray, I think like Angle, someone. Other people had that a lot longer.
Right.
So, yeah, he's out, and now where does that leave us? I think that we have a new champion will be set at Rebellion on April 16th, and it will be Steve McAllen against Kushida. Kushida was supposed to take on Alexander at the multi-matches...
Multiverse.
Multiverse, yeah. So now those two will take on each other at Rebellion, which is crazy because I think it was... No, it wasn't Rebellion where he won the title. No, he defended it there last year, but he's had a good run. Sad to see him that he's dropping the title, but you know, everybody usually comes back stronger from an injury.
Yeah, should be able to.
Then you got Mickie James. She got injured as well, I guess. And she did an actual backstage promo saying that the plan is she's either going to be ready or she will just hand the title over to Jordynne Grace.
Wow.
Because that's who she's going to be facing.
I guess build some suspense there.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to either take it day by day or they really are just like, well, we're going to hand her. She was going to win the title anyway.
I mean, she should have the title. Let me tell you something. It's really funny because Instagram, I don't really use. I'll use it to message my kid because it's more reliable than a text message with him. But, I mean, I post our weekly social media, maybe, something out of the blue. But it's funny because I follow just wrestling stuff on that account. And every time I go to it and I open it up, it's always Jordynne Grace at the top. And I ain't even mad at it because you know my thoughts on that. But have you seen any recent pictures of her? Like recent, last month maybe?
Firmed up.
Bro, she looks like China on steroids.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
She had gotten injured, I think, and was out, I think, a couple of months, which probably gave her time to not only heal but also bulk up.
Bro.
Mickie beat her for the title.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah, I think it was just time to get her back because they had that last rodeo thing, and if she lost on her way to a championship match, she would have to retire.
Yep.
Now she could lose. It's okay because she had the title. So get it back on Jordynne.
I think so, yeah, 100%.
Well, let's talk about another phenomenal set of talent when it comes to women's wrestling. I saw something, and I was like, I wonder if ODM was going to bring this up or not. And I was like, because I don't know. Is it worthy bringing up? But if you have it in here, yeah, it's worth it. Let's talk about it.
So, as you know or may not know, AEW is starting to run some house shows, right? And they actually used an angle from one of those recent house shows for the match that was, what was it? Jack Perry and Darby and Sting?
Yeah.
Was who it was? Yeah, that was kind of like the genesis. It came from the house show. But
trying to show you should go to house shows because it could alter how Dynamite's going to look.
Sure. But you also may be stuck watching Anna J.A.S. versus Britt Baker. Have you seen any of the video?
Unfortunately, my eyes did watch, and I was like, I wouldn't even call it a set of highlights that I watched. It was a set of lowlights. It was easily, like, bro, it was like if you and I went in the ring right now and we're like, let's not hurt each other, though. Yeah. Let's just try to look like we're going to do stuff, but back off every time.
Let's go through a dry run here.
100%.
Yeah,
it looked like they were scared to touch each other. It was so weird, and then every time they did a move, it would stop, they would back up. I'm like, there's not room for editing in front of this crowd.
It was like two 12-year-olds dancing for the first time together during a school dance. You know how we've talked about Jericho and Lita moving at half speed recently? These motherfuckers were moving quarter speed. It was parade speed.
Eighth.
It was parade speed.
It was underwater. It was pretty bad. If you have watched it, I'm sorry. It was weird.
Yeah.
I hope they don't bring that match to Dynamite at any time soon. And I don't know who you blame because, I mean, I would have to assume Anna Jazz Hands. You have it as Anna Jazz.
Terrible.
So
Terrible.
I know that's what. Well, I hate that they call her Anna J.
Well, remember Anna J.A.S. Yeah, it's terrible. I agree.
I hate it.
Yeah.
So, one of my favorite things I did get to see. We didn't cover this because we never cover Rampage. But in January, at the end of the month, if you were fortunate enough to watch, I'm going right back to it, but Anna J.A.S. and Ty Mello, they took on Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho in a no DQ match of some form. I don't know, whatever,
right.
Lights out, whatever you want to call it. Have you noticed they stopped doing lights out? And it used to be they turn the lights out and it's back on. They stopped that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things they stopped, like their ranking system. A lot of things. We'll get back into that in a minute.
Oh, they still have them.
We have a couple of weeks. We're going to be doing a top topic on it. Anyway, they ended up having a badass brawl, but Ruby looked worse than Stone Cold did at WrestleMania 13 when he was bleeding. Like, she was just covered, just completely, her face was just complete crimson mask. And a lot of people are saying boo to it, and she's, hearing about it online, and she's right about it. I 100% agree. People I think there was one of the reporters, if not Meltzer, someone said it's too violent to see like that, or it was too much. And she said, if you can't come up with a reason other than the fact that I'm a woman that you don't want to see me bleed, then kindly fuck off. Because you're all right with every guy that does it, but when a girl does it, we have issues all of a sudden.
Dude, I'll give you all the info you need. You already have the answer to this. You know how it is. You know the fucking IWC can be really toxic just because of the base of the people. I joined the Jim Cornette Facebook page. Like, they had to fucking take the reins on it because some fan was running with it. You heard about all that shit?
One of the things I heard about that I listened to,
so,
I heard it, yeah.
So I keep seeing these posts, and goddamn, some of these people are fucking morons.
Oh, yeah.
The re-host sympathizers, and they're just, these are neck... I mean, fucking Ruby's promo
and
is fucking
just
wrong.
Eddie Kingston.
The neckbeards that are incels and fucking... Yeah, it's just, yeah.
So... And that's she's a woman. She shouldn't be bleeding. That's pretty much like, really, you have those actual tweets. Anyway.
Da-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Bumper.
Oh, I thought you were like da-dun-dun-dun-dun. Periods.
Anyway.
Menstrual cycle. I don't know. Put your own kind of version.
Should we talk about Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania 39?
No one else is, considering he doesn't have a match at WrestleMania 39.
Well,
he's only set for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that's on Friday Night SmackDown.
Yep, pretty much.
I have a theory on that. Would you like to hear my theory?
Sure. I mean, that's what we're here for.
There's two people that don't have a match on the card at WrestleMania, and they should. And you could very easily just have one person come out, get on the mic, have their moment. Bobby Lashley comes out, squash, we move on to the next match. And I'm talking about, LA Knight.
That was one of the reports. Yep.
I think somehow maybe LA wins, or he fucks Lashley over and it becomes a match. Something, just build it, make the match happen. There's no reason you can't.
I think that could have legs. It could be something as simple as that. And it could just be something like Lashley goes out and says, I've worked too hard for this. I'm not going to be in that goddamn Battle Royale. I fucking deserve my spotlight. And then LA Knight can just come out and boom, there you go. It's simple. And it can grow into something from there, because it could be Lashley dominating and LA Knight cheats and he starts getting the heat because people like seeing him. I think he's been great lately. Dude, if you can come out of that fucking Bray Wyatt feud and still fucking smell like a dozen roses, you're doing something right. So fucking bravo to him. Fuck it. Put him with Lashley. Let him see what they can do with this.
I think it's funnier to actually have them face each other, considering they both had to deal with Wyatt. But I just did a count while you were talking. In total, 13 matches. That's all they have in total for WrestleMania. That means 7 one night, 6 another. Very easily toss that match on one of the nights.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of mad, to be honest with you, that they keep doing the Andre the Memorial. That they keep doing this Battle Royal on SmackDown. Why can you not? Is it you don't want to give the guys payday? But why can't you at least give them the pre-show? You don't even have a pre-show match. Give that match to the pre-show. Shit, that's even better. You could have...
They've done that before.
Something happen with LA and Lashley. Match is on for tonight. Ooh, look at that. As you bought the pay-per-view or you got Peacock, yay, you got an extra match. Like, you win. Why are you doing it on Friday?
You're looking for logic in all the wrong places.
Sorry about that. I hate when I do that. All right, man, what other kind of news you got here? We got a lot of stuff. Let's go.
Yeah, let's keep going. All right. Real quick, Naomi on an Instagram post, she was asked if she's still part of WWE, and her response was no, friend. So, yeah, apparently Naomi's gone. She's been going as Trinity Fatu, I think has been like her handle, her name. But I just saw a headline. I didn't get a chance to read the article that she filed for a trademark for a name. I don't know if it's Trinity Fatu or what it would be. So, yeah, we'll see where she pops up. I hate to say it, but hopefully for her own sake, not AEW.
I would rather her get over in Japan with at least Mercedes. personally. I would just, like you said, AEW, I don't want her there.
Yeah.
I mean, you just brought in Taya Valkyrie, so there's no point in bringing in anybody else new in your women's division. Everybody you keep bringing in,
especially who would be a
male
face.
or female. Yeah, it's exactly. So I'd rather her go to New Japan, maybe Impact Wrestling. Shit.
Yeah.
Naomi and Jordan Grace. I mean, she could, do the glow thing there.
Well,
sure
here's another thing to
and the
think about,
lights to do
man.
it.
We're getting Forbidden Door. It's very likely that Mercedes Moné is going to be there. So if she's there, what if Naomi shows up to back her up or to confront her?
Did you know that Naomi backwards is Imon?
Yeah, I know. Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus. I like him very much.
I like him very much, but he no help with curveball. Hey, let me tell Vinny that real quick. He's got tryouts tonight. We can blow by this one. Apparently, Roxanne Perez has been cleared for an in-ring return in a non-kayfabe, well, I guess kayfabe 2 sense. She posted on Instagram talking about the doctors. It's really hard to, I think they're using it as a work, but she also had an opportunity to be thankful for the fans, So still no idea what the fuck is actually going on with her in real life, but it seems like she may not have to vacate the title. So see where that goes.
Just so weird. I
know.
I still think it's a Shawn Michaels
same thing.
like they did.
Like, here's the thing. You're going to
weird.
faint and you'll be back in a few weeks. I did it once. It was great.
Oh, my gosh. Best time I ever had sex. All right. So I added some news here. Everybody's like, oh, WWE is burying Alexa Bliss. She's not on TV with the Wyatt thing and this and that. And she's supposed to be there and she's not.
That's helping her.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Well, she was off TV for a while because she was filming in a part of The Masked Singer. And she actually just was revealed last week. And unfortunately, and I know we make jokes a lot about shit, but she underwent skin cancer procedure removal to have, I just say it, you know how I am. You're the doc.
Oh, basal cell carcinoma.
Yeah, exactly. Which apparently is the more common kind in skin cancer. Mm-hmm. But have you seen the picture? She has stitches on her cheek. So, but, good to know she caught it. And she actually said she was like all those years of being in a tanning bed.
Tanning booth, yeah.
Like, oh, the Jersey Shore is fucked.
Yeah. You ever seen her when she was a weightlifter?
Alexa?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, dude. She was fucking jacked, but she had the fucking tan. Like the bad Jersey Shore
Oh,
tan.
no, wait, I have seen that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, she was, and it was like that real bleach blonde hair, and yet you look like Muhammad Ali, even though you're like really Caucasian. Okay. You take this. I'm excited that you have this one here.
Yeah, so Kevin Nash was talking, I believe, on his podcast about that he's been working with Dark Side of the Ring on an episode that's going to be about Scott Hall. And it was fucked up because I was reading it, and I think Razor's kid is going to be in it. Obviously Nash. I don't know who else they got. I don't think they mentioned anybody else. But it's really fucked up because, we talk about all this shit about Scott Hall, even his time in the AWA, and how he came up with, guys like Hennig and, all those guys. Do you remember, or how often do you think about the fact that he killed somebody?
Well, this will be the second time on this episode because we've brought that up here. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So, yeah, they're going to be talking about he was working as a bartender at the Dollhouse Strip Club. Some guy pulled the gun.
I thought he was a bouncer.
Yeah, the article I read said he was a bartender. But either way.
He was a cruise director, and she was wasted. Sorry. Second hangover reference.
I
All right.
gotcha. All right. Anyway. So, yeah, look out for that episode.
Can't wait. It's funny. I just read something before I went on the air here, and it was Nash talking about how when Shawn Michaels came back in 2002, he was a completely different guy. The 98 guy who was pilled up, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. And he was responding, he's saying that to RVD's comments about how Michaels was real dickish to him. That's the infamous shoot where he does his cross eyes and mocks HBK, and how RVD came back for a Legends spot for the night in the Royal Rumble, and Michaels said, "This is why I like doing these. We have a chance to bring people back and blah blah blah, like all that kind of stuff." And Nash is like, but he was a different guy in 98, blah, blah, blah. So RVD's confused. No. He's talking about the Michaels that was like in 2006, 7, 8. That's the one he's talking about when RVD came back. I'm like, so apparently Michaels really just is a dickhead. I don't care. Like, finding God or not, I still think he's probably a prick.
He's just not a pilled up dickhead. That's all.
It's true. It's true. I'm going to toss my couple of things in here real quick. Sonata, we talked about last week how he is now flipping burgers with just Five Guys burgers and fries, and I almost said and flies, and he defeated David Finlay in the finals of the New Japan Cup. Big things for him. And at Sakara Genesis, he's taking on Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. While I don't think they'll put the title right on Sonata, this isn't his first match against Okada, and they've had a couple of good classics before.
Right.
So I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, Sakara Genesis is where I believe Jay White defeated Okada last year or 2 years ago. So not unheard of where this title change could happen. But also, Will Ospreay is now injured, and he was pulled from Mania weekend. He was supposed to be taking on Mike Bailey, and now Hiroshi Tanahashi is taking his place. And my last piece of news is Motor City Machine Guns. They've officially re-signed with Impact Wrestling. That's cool. Good home for them. They've been there since pretty much the start. You're not going to soar anywhere else at this point, so I say keep doing what you're doing.
Definitely. Seems like they're home, so.
And I do want to keep one last piece of news here because I can't wait to talk about this. But did you know that tonight, your boy, Jeff Cobb, is challenging on Dynamite for the IWGP U.S. Heavyweight Championship? He's taking on Kenny Omega.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's potential. You know, we both really like Jeff Cobb, even though he showed up.
I think it's a perfect chance to get the title off of Omega.
I was just going to say that.
What you talked about. Go ahead, please talk about what you said about last week, Elite.
So I kind of talked about, Omega leaving the Elite. Mm-hmm. So on their little YouTube show, which I used to watch it, I do not anymore, Kenny Omega left the Elite's group chat. So now, there seems to be, Don Callis seems to be pulling the strings to get Omega to leave the Elite, based on his actions. And we can talk about it real quickly when we review the week. What if Cobb wins and Callis makes it look like it's the Elite's fault? It gets
Callis
the title.
Is the one that technically screws him over. Yep. I think that's what's going to happen too.
Yeah, Cobb takes the title so he can go back to New Japan with it and defend it, and it furthers the storyline with Kenny and the Elite.
It was the first thing out of my mind when I thought about, this match. When I said, "Man, Joe called the Elite," and all this stuff. I go, "Wait a second, perfect chance to get that title, like you said, right back in Japan."
Yep,
I'd like to see it happen. So, but everything we'd like to see happen doesn't. So
yeah.
I should say, let me say this. I really, really, really want Goldberg to come to AEW. I really, 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 really want Goldberg to come to AEW.
Well, let's hope that your reverse psychology works, because according to Fightful Select, Goldberg's WWE contract expired at the end of 2022. And also reports, and again, take this with a grain of salt because there's a lot of marks out there, Tony Khan is monitoring that situation. Goldberg will die if he goes to AEW. If he almost died with The Undertaker, he's going to die in AEW.
He'll lean in the wrong way and take a knee to the face.
Give him a match with Rey Fenix. A who dies first match.
No, you know what? Give him Brian Cage.
Oh my
he
God.
Throws people around.
Oh my God. Please, no, they'd probably do that too.
Actually, you could also maybe have him bring back his feud with Jericho. Both men, and it's a retirement match.
Can we bring Rufus back?
Both men. That's what I was going to say. Same thing. He's involved, but it's a retirement match, and both men competing just retire afterwards.
Now you're really pushing it.
I know it'll never happen. I'm just saying I'm done with both of them.
Right.
I'm really I saw an article the other day. I'm not even going to bother quoting it. The headline said AEW needs to choose between Punk and Jericho, and they need to be choosing Punk. And I never did a whole deep look into it, but here's the thing. At the very minimum, Jericho's ran his course in AEW. At the very, very minimum. That's all it's to look at the very most. Other than that, what stock does Jericho hold? He's not even EVP. So what stock does he even need to... He is?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't think he was. Anyway. Oh, then that doesn't help. Never mind.
Yeah, he's a stooge. He's kissing ass to Tony because he knows he's going to get a fat paycheck and get to do whatever the fuck he wants. He ain't going nowhere, unfortunately. Motherfucker will break his femur in 3 places and he'll still show up in a cast the next week. Make sure he gets his fucking 15 minutes of TV time. Cocksucker.
Suck. All right, well, let's get into some moments of the week. Last week on Raw, Roman, he was trying to make sure he could still trust Jay. He kicked all the bloodline out of the back room there as they sat on leather couches, and he's asking if I could trust you. But then he talks to Jimmy, or Jimmy comes in and speaks up and got pissed at Roman. He's like, I don't like being asked to choose between this group and my brother, my blood, the one I've been with since day one, all of it. And I was like, ooh, get the cracks, right? And the tension.
Yeah.
The ending was phenomenal with, I believe, was the ending Owens and Zayn?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But earlier in the night was when Cody starts messing with Roman and Solo and tells Solo, you're not ready. I was like, oh, I loved it. It was just so good. He just got in his face and just kept saying it, and Solo was getting so pissed off. He was amping up Umaga style. Yeah. I could see him getting pushed pretty well next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's some rumors about it being Solo versus Roman at next Mania.
Well, we're never going to get Rock, so you might as well.
Marcus Welby.
But Owens and Zayn did get the Usos to agree to a match at Mania, as we already know, because we discussed that earlier. On Tuesday, I was busy doing some work, and I said, oh, I'll just throw NXT on in the background. I see it's on. Dude, they put Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough on TV. They wasted that match on TV, and while it was pretty okay, it was already on TV, and I had to wait through like a commercial break, a picture, all that shit, only for it to get broken up, and now they're a part of the Fatal 5-Way match for the North American Championship.
Fantastic.
Poor NXT.
Yeah.
It was something great at one point.
It was.
I miss the Wednesday Night Wars. On Wednesday on Dynamite, the most notable parts, I mean, Jesus, this show was not good. Oh, my God. You and I texted about it. The only thing that was decent was everything I anticipated between Kenny Omega and El Hijo de Vikingo.
Yeah.
It is. I've seen a lot of his stuff. I've seen his match against Rey Fenix before. So it was exactly what I thought it was going to be, and you said it. It was the highlighted spot fest that we exactly...
It was entertaining, but it was just a spot fest with no build or anything. It was a video game.
Yeah. Yeah, a good one. And at the post-match, again, what you kind of mentioned, you had Adam Page come out. Let's not steal from WWE anymore with this motherfucker stealing a goddamn ambulance and driving back all of a sudden.
You know,
so you mean to tell me this dickhead isn't getting fined or arrested? None of that?
Think about this, because we're going to break down this logic, because I'm glad you brought that up, because I fucking broke this down. It was like a shower thought. What happened?
Thinking about Adam Hangnail Page in the
What
shower?
happened? No. What happened? If the hospital was across the street, he could have just run. So think about this. He's at the hospital, and he's watching
They
Dynamite.
said it was across the street? Oh,
imagine
Mark. Sorry.
If the hospital was across the street, Paige could have just run across the street. He didn't need to drive an ambulance, right? So let's say the hospital's a mile away. So you're telling me that at best case scenario, he's a mile away. He's watching Dynamite live, and he sees his boy getting jumped by the Blackpool Combat Club. So he gets in an ambulance and he drives there. How the fuck did he get there so fast? Even in an ambulance with sirens.
Well, it's funny because the very beginning of Dynamite shows the Bucks laying around hurt.
Oh, yeah,
and then he jumps in the ambulance. While all that is fun, the best part is what was hidden on the trucks. Is that what you're about to bring up?
Yes.
There's pictures of what the truck looks like on the road, and everything is 100% to a degree dead on. And one face that's in there is CM Punk's. But to shoot this angle, they set a bunch of huge tables up against the truck so you could not even see his picture. Everything else is there. Excellent. Am I a weird mark to almost go, man, I kind of want it to be Punk up behind with the Blackpool Combat Club and trying to take them out too? Yes, I know I am.
Okay, that would be cool. That would be cool. I kind of like Blackpool Combat Club. I like those shirts. It just said, what did it say? Blackpool Wrestling or something like that.
Blackpool Wrestling.
Yeah, I kind of like that. It's weird. I like Claudio better as a face, but it's okay to hate these guys because Moxley's a fuck up. So Punk joining them and kind of pulling the strings, that would be pretty cool. But again, there's this whole thing where he was calling out the whole Moxley thing. And
Wheeler's already getting booed. As much as people like him, they're kind of over him. So it was kind of a perfect time.
Yeah. No. But what if... Because, I mean, think about this just from a fucking irony standpoint. Punk and Omega joined forces. Could you fucking imagine?
I just read somewhere that... Well, it's funny you say that because I just read somewhere Punk admittedly said he had no problem with Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I think we talked about it briefly. Yeah.
And I go, yeah, because he saved the dog.
You saved Larry. No, there was actually some shit they were saying that they talked after it happened. And they were kind of like, yeah, okay, well, I still hate you, but hey, okay, all right, we can talk about it.
Oh, that would be weird and crazy if that would happen, but I mean, then you would have to admit that I was right about the work. So
and you could have FTR in there too.
Well, wow, hell of a fucking transition, man. Speaking of, they approached the Guns, and the Guns did everything they could, saying nope, 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 and they said we won't tag together, blah, 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 and it ends up coming down to we will leave AEW. So either we win the titles or we quit AEW.
I usually don't like these angles. I like this, though, because their contracts are coming up in AEW, so this could be a way to get them out of there.
Well, I do like these when it is real like that. Kind of like when Punk's contract is coming up at Money in the Bank. There's a lot of those times where people have been close to signing and you don't know when they do these kinds of matches. There's maybe like 10 good ones in history where they've done them right. This right here, we don't know because there has been speculation they could go to WWE again. Maybe they re-sign with AEW. We don't know. Maybe they are going to go completely indie and do their own thing for a while.
Could be.
But if they lose, and we don't even know when this match is.
Yep.
But I can't imagine they're going to wait all the way till Double or Nothing. So it's either going to be a battle of the belts or it's going to be Dynamite. But if it's Battle of the Belts, what pisses me off more is those are always pre-taped.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Might be.
So you will really screw yourself then.
Yeah, because, I mean, they always pre-tape Rampage, so...
If I saw right now results, Battle of the Belts, whatever number it is, I'm going to probably look at it. Because the fact that you didn't care enough to make your big event live, I probably won't care if I end up seeing that you pre-taped shit.
Yep.
The other thing I wasn't really a big fan of, but it happened, was Adam Cole comes out. He's ready to announce who he wants to face tonight on Dynamite. And Garcia comes out, trash talks, and goats Adam into having him be the wrestler. I'm like, who are you going to pick, though? You know, I'm like, it's...
Right.
I don't know why it bothered me.
It had to be better than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. I was like, pick anybody right now. And when it was Garcia, I was like, meh. Yeah. I'd rather see him take on Commander, the new Flippy Dippery. Ring of Honor on Thursday, the Kingdom got a tag team win over Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels. And if you think Sydal and Daniels are a thrown together tag team, they actually were tag team champions in Ring of Honor in the past. But they've been tagging together during these Ring of Honor shows, but the Kingdom made a statement about wanting to win the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, not only for their legacy, but for the legacy of Ring of Honor. And guess what? They're a part of that tag team match. That is the Reach for the Sky ladder match. We'll get into that in a moment. And on SmackDown on Friday, we're going to go in some reverse order here. The Usos, they attacked KO and Sammy on the KO show, where Kevin is wearing his upcoming KO Mania shirt, and he gives Sammy a shirt, which was so very eerily reminiscent of the Festival of Friendship. He shows him the shirt that said KO Mania, but on the back it said Wrestle Zane.
Yeah.
But how he looked at it and didn't look at the back to begin with had that weird feel to it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm last week or 2 weeks ago going, maybe Zane will fuck him over in the end. Who knows? Maybe KO will fuck him over in the end. That's what they do to each other. That's that
Pretty
friendship.
Much. Yep.
But last year or the year before, if I'm not mistaken, this is KO's 6th WrestleMania. And why I bring that up is every year his T-shirts when he comes to the ring are very old school to whatever WrestleMania number he is at, to the work art or what it is.
Right.
So if it's 6, it could be him and Zayn kind of looking like Hogan and Warrior with the lightning bolts and all that shit in the Ultimate Challenge. Butch went absolutely nuts and wanted to take on Gunther. They're calling him Gunther. I'm going to call him Walter. I'm going to call him Walter. The most notable part that everybody's talking about from SmackDown. Rey Mysterio finally agrees to face Dominic at WrestleMania. I'm fine with it taking all this time, I guess. You know, it was inevitable, but fine, I guess. The best thing was CM Punk tweeting about it. He tweets a picture of when Punk was in the ring with Ray during the whole straight edge era before Ray had Punk's head shaved during that whole feud. And Ray's whole family's in the ring, including little Dominic, little Aaliyah. And Punk says, Ray, every man has its limits. Oh, no, hang on. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Ray ends up saying to Dominic, every man has its limits. She's not only your mother, but she's my wife. And that's when he punches Dominic, and agrees to the match. Punk, though, ends up saying, hey, Ray, good for you. I've wanted to punch him in the face for 13 years.
Pretty cool. Like I said, he's still
good
out
for
there.
you.
Yeah.
He's going to WWE, man. Oh, my God. He tweeted about Ray. We have a lot of news and everything that's going to be coming up. The only thing I want to say from TNA Sacrifice this past weekend, I call it TNA, whatever. We just talked about a couple of weeks ago how Bully Ray went back and forth with a fan and then Bryce Rimsberg about referees holding a ladder. Well, during Bully Ray's match with Tommy Dreamer, he pulled out the size ladder that Hornswoggle has used throughout the years, stood on the very top, and then a ladder was held by a referee, purposely spotted. Excellent joke to play a rib on the entire fucking thing. Yeah. Good for you, Bully Ray. As much as I thought he was a dick about the whole situation, that was goddamn funny. Good for you. Let me ask you, are you ready for WrestleMania weekend?
No.
I know.
I'm barely ready for this podcast.
Not only do we have not only do we have 2 nights of WrestleMania, but you have Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor. You have Impact Wrestling. You got NXT Stand Deliver. And if you are in the LA area and with some of these fight apps as well as other apps that will be streaming wrestling throughout the entire weekend, there is going to be a lot of great wrestling events going on. And I only wanted to name a couple of events that pertain to people we personally know. The first one is with Dark Arts Entertainment. I've mentioned to you about Super Beast. He's the one, that giant jacked up guy from Fresno at Best of the West. Well, he owns Dark Arts Entertainment, and it's kind of like its own wrestling company. And they have the Monster Mania going on. Now, he was set to be taking on Caljack in a match, but he got pulled from it. Taking his place Why? I'll tell you why.
That's fucking awesome.
Simon fucking Miller.
That's awesome.
Yeah, baby. Hammerstone is taking on Edgestone.
Nice.
Mecha Wolf be taking on our boy Funny Bone.
Yeah.
Riv, we've talked about him. Anthony Rivera will be in a 3-way match against Loggins and Otto. No, not Loggins and Messina.
Damn it.
And for the championship in this one of the championship matches, Mike Rain, the owner of Best of the West, will be taking on M4. This begins at 1 p.m. Now, I started looking at this. This is 1 p.m. in California, so 4 o'clock our time here. But look this is like the music festival weekend of wrestling. You're just going to be watching wrestling everywhere you go. Later on that night, another promotion that I was proud to go to see, Micromania. They're going to have their event at Whiskey A Go-Go, and it was going to be, for the main event, it was going to be 50 Cent taking on Mini 50 Cent taking on Mini Ja Rule, but Mini Ja Rule hurt his mini leg, and they're now going to be he's going to be facing Mini Conor McGregor. But yeah, that's pretty much all the best I had on that. I just want to make sure that got brought up. Actually, Max Mini will be taking on Octagon Cito.
Close
God
enough.
damn it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to help you on that one once I saw it.
Thanks. The next day, Thursday, the 30th, you have... Oh, by the way, all that was on Wednesday. I didn't even tell you all that. That was
wait,
Wednesday.
there's more.
Yeah, exactly. Thursday, Crimson Crown Wrestling. Why I put this in here. The Best of the West Heavyweight Championship is actually being defended right there in LA as Dave Dutra is in a 3-way match against Mike James and Fern Owens. There's a number 1 contenders match with Anthony Rivera, Handsome Devil, taking on Crescenzio, Robbie Phoenix, and Funny Bone in a 4-way match. And the winner of that match will be taking on the champion, who is either the CCW, Crimson Crown Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, which is Mike Rain, who is defending against Kid Bandit. So winner could be Mike Rain taking on Riv or Funny Bone. Exciting to see. But another popular event, as we've seen in the past, you got GCW's Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 9. 9 of these already. Kota Ibushi is making his Bloodsport debut because, well, no one's really wanting to work with him wrestling-wise, I guess. And he is taking on Mike Bailey, who also, again, is going to have kind of a heavy weekend. Remember last year, this is the weekend the Briscoes had 5 matches in 3 days. Mm-hmm. One of them was back-to-back. It was ROH and then Impact.
Yeah. Or one night, 2 different places, yep.
Alex Coughlin takes on Yuya Uemura. Marina Shafir is also going to be fighting that night. We also have Calvin Tankman. Davey Boy Smith Jr., who is 5-1 in these blood sports, is taking on J.R. Kratos. John Moxley is going to be taking on someone in bleeding. We don't know who his opponent is just yet. Johnny Bloodsport. Yep, that's right. You know who that is. John Hennigan. Whatever place he goes to, that's the place, and that's Johnny Hennigan. Or Johnny Bloodsport for the night. The match that I assume should be the main event, I don't think it is. It's Josh Barnett taking on Timothy Thatcher. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in for that.
Definitely.
And then the other match is Jeff Cobb taking on Bad Dude Tito. Now we do have the Impact multiverse of matches. Again, Kushida and Josh Alexander is canceled, but we are going to get Mike Bailey and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Jeff Cobb will be making his second appearance for the day against Moose. For the X Division Championship, it'll be Trey Miguel taking on Clark Connors, Frankie Kazarian, Kevin Knight, Rich Swann, Rocky Romero in a 6-way scramble. Kenta versus Minoru Suzuki for the Strong Openweight Championship. That I'm in. That I'm all about. There's going to be a 3 or 4-way tag team championship match as Chris Bay and Ace Austin, Bullet Club, they're going to be taking on Aussie Open, TMDK, which is the Mighty Don't Kneel, and the Motor City Machine Guns. That actually looks like it's going to be a really good match. And Mickie James looks like she's probably out for the night, so I'm not even sure if they're going to end up having her match. But let's talk about Friday. Really, all right, I mean, at 4 o'clock in California, so 7 o'clock in New York, it will be Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor. And at 8 o'clock, which is 11 o'clock for us, will be GCW's Joey Janela's Spring Break. The only reason I want to bring that one up quickly is a couple of the matches seem really good. You have Kota Ibushi taking on Joey Janela. I just want to see him get knocked the fuck out. That's the only reason I want to watch that.
Jesus Christ.
Hijo del Vikingo will take on Mike Bailey. And for the GCW Tag Team Championships, it's going to be Motor City Machine Guns against East West Express. This looks like it could be a pretty decent card for GCW. But again, Ring of Honor, the Super Card of Honor 2023. El Hijo del Vikingo will be taking on Commander. I'm not going to, act like I said this, but I don't know, whoever I saw in a meme that said this is going to have more flips than an IHOP. It's dead on. Get it? Flips. All right, anyway.
I just hear the cricket bumper in my head. I know it won't go in post, but it doesn't really help the people
Hey,
listening.
let me ask you a question. How did sensitivity training go all last week?
Oh, it went fucking great. Thank you. I appreciate the referral. They said you put in a good word for me, so I was able to complete the process a lot sooner.
Did you get that anger out?
I never had any anger, except about my dad that no good for nothing.
Why do we have to keep bringing up my family? Anyway, for the women's title, Athena is defending against Yuka Sakazaki. The Reach for the Sky tag team ladder match. New champions will be crowned for sure, as it is Aussie Open taking on Roosh and Dralistico against the Lucha Brothers, Kingdom, the Kingdom, as well as Top Flight. So Aussie Open is also going to be doing quite a bit of wrestling this weekend as well. It's like when you're hot, you just do it that entire WrestleMania weekend. Everybody wants you on their card. The TV title, Mark Briscoe takes on Samoa Joe. The Pure Championship will be Wheeler Yuta and Katsuyori Shibata. And for the Ring of Honor World Championship, Claudio Castagnoli will be defending against Eddie Kingston. I'm expecting that to just be a straight up beating the shit out of each other fest.
Probably.
Exciting. Very exciting. SmackDown will have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We do know that the Hall of Fame will be on Friday night as well after SmackDown, which again has Rey Mysterio being inducted by Conan, Great Muta by Ric Flair, and we still don't know who's going to be inducting Andy Kaufman or Stacy Keibler. If you plan on watching NXT Stand Deliver before you decide to watch Night 1 of WrestleMania, more power to you. Can't say I will be, but this is a breakdown of what we got. Look at the other night, because I did watch NXT, I had to really get all this in here, and I weirdly enough have a background about some of this shit, and I hate that I do. The match at the bottom of this card here, you got Chase University, which is Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, and Thea Hale taking on with Tyler Bate against Schism, which is Joe Gacy, Rip Fowler, Jagger Reed, and Ava, who is going to be making her wrestling debut. This chick got on TV 4 months ago taking her mask off, and she hasn't wrestled yet. How's that? The winner gets the University. That's some WWE shit for you.
Yep.
The men's tag team titles will be in a triple threat as Gallus takes on the Family and the Creed Brothers. The North American North American Championship will be in a 5-way as Wes Lee defends against Dragon Lee, against JD McDonough, against Ilya Dragunov, and Axiom. Women's tag titles, didn't even know they had them. That's a match. I don't even know who they are. I'm not going to bother saying their name. The women's title ladder match, since, what's her name has been out and either kayfabe injured or not injured, we don't know. But the new champion, we're going to have a new champion that's crowned. We have Zoe Stark versus Gigi Dolan, Tiffany Stratton, Indy Hartwell, and this name made me laugh when I first saw it on TV. Does that not look like Taya Valkyrie?
It
It's
looks exactly like it.
Lyra Valkyra. But all I could think is, it's Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, pretty much.
In an unsanctioned match, Johnny Gargano is going to be taking on Grayson Waller, and Bron Breakker will be defending his NXT championship against Carmelo Hayes. I don't even have predictions for all the shit that we've gone over here so far, because none of this makes a difference to me. And it's nothing against any of the other things that are going on in LA, but, I'm not going to be there. However, one of the wrestlers that I do know there shared a post, and this was too good to not read out loud. That a wrestling promoter in the area put out to his wrestlers and people who are going to be coming into the area and said, look, you might want to share this about LA. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If you're in LA this week, don't stay south of Inglewood. Don't wear your fanny pack on Hollywood Boulevard unless you're ready to throw down for it. It's cute for wrestling, but you become a target for that there. Saw a lot of it working there. This is not a day or night town. You're just as likely to get robbed at noon than you will be at midnight, or than you are at midnight. The homeless here are not like the homeless in your town. They demand, they attack, and they don't say thank you. They just keep walking. The guys handing out mixtapes on Hollywood Boulevard get really aggressive if you don't buy their mixtape. Avoid. If you're a woman in LA, men in general are aggressive and don't take the word no very well. LA men might be the thirstiest in America. Think twice before hitting in that club. Like, for real, I'm serious. Get ready to have your pockets raided at parking in any place that you want to go. Gotta love LA. You don't have to worry about being snuck up on. In LA, we explain the whole plan to you and how we're going to screw you over, and then tell you how we're going to screw you over after we screwed you over. Please just don't move here. I just think it's hysterical. So if anybody's going there and be like, I'm all ready for WrestleMania, you're probably going to get fucking robbed.
Sounds awesome.
Let's quickly just break down what the matches are. Fuck it. We'll talk about it at the top topic. We'll get there.
Go.
We'll get to WrestleMania. You know what? Let's go to the freaking table.
But I'm here already.
Just bring it, bitch! Oh my
God! Boo. Look, what I want to bring to the table real quick is, if you were like me when I was younger, there was a book that would come out every year around March, and it was called the PWI Almanac of book and facts about pro wrestling. And it wasn't a big book. It was, littleish, not little size, but, regular size book, not like a giant big ass book, like the WWE encyclopedia. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a regular novel kind of book.
Okay.
And it just stopped because the internet took over and everybody could just fucking look anything up they wanted to. And it has been gone for several years. And I got bored not too long ago and was looking around to see if they actually had one in the works nowadays. I'll be goddamn, for the last couple of years, Inside the Ropes has taken over, and they have an almanac. And as you see here, this is the 2021-2022 version. And what I'm telling you, it has every pay-per-view event ever in here. It just goes right in order. Every champion, who it went from, and the town that they won it in. I mean, just everything. Everything that you could want. And I was like, well, it's a podcast. We're going to need this kind of shit. But if you guys were an Almanac fan like I was, look into it. It's just so exciting to see it back out there, just especially if you want to, just quick thing. You know what? Do I feel like watching Survivor Series 88 right now? Let me look up the card. You got the book. Yeah, you could look up at the internet, but, you got to have a VHS, a cassette mix tap once in a while.
Mix tap, yeah, no, definitely. It kind of looks like the Sports Almanac from Back to the Future, too.
It does. You have no idea how much I want to go back in time and bet on wrestling.
Yeah, right.
1,000 on Jinder Mahal right now, beating Randy Orton.
Yeah, right? You fucking retire off of that one 10 times over.
That's the only one I need
to
do.
No fucking way, kid. It'd be nice to go back and look to see what the odds were in Vegas. You might have been able to tell that it was going to happen by looking at the odds.
That's hysterical. Oh, my God. That's all you have to go to. All right.
Right. So, typical ODM. Just whatever I come across is getting thrown.
Can I guess? Can I guess? Can I guess?
Guess.
It's either bowling or a Cornette reference.
Well, you ain't wrong, because it's a Cornette reference.
At bowling.
Yep, not at bowling. I was told you to join the Cornette Facebook group. I did see one guy post this link, and I was like, holy shit, this is cool. This is from an old episode of Cornette, I think a couple years ago, and he was basically just talking about his involvement in the NWA invasion and how it all came about. And it was just really cool, but he basically was like, yeah, it's the fucking drizzling shits. He's like, that's when he first started to hate Russo the most, because he didn't fucking understand. He berated, who was it? A couple of guys that came back. During one of those bad shit promos, because he's like, they all ended in DQs or technicalities, or he's like, nobody got over. It was just, he just laid out the entire shit show. I mean, he had his book where he took notes on everything that he did, and I mean, he's saying shit, and I'm like, yep, we saw that. Yep, we saw that. Yep, we saw that. Yep. Don't forget this happened. Yep, see, there you go. Okay. So it's just weird. And you know what's even more fucked up is it made me think, because now we've got the new Midnight Express. So we're in March.
Bodacious Bob and Beautiful Bart or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Bombastic.
And that's it. About 3 to 4 months from now, they're going to be fighting each other in the Brawl for All.
About a year.
Brawl
for All doesn't.
Summer of '98.
Tournament.
Summer '98.
99.
I just watched the documentary. They said it was 98.
They may have had some matches begin there, but the actual tournament, I think, doesn't begin until end. Wait, never mind. Hang on. You're right. I'm wrong. Bart Gunn just didn't get his ass knocked out.
Fact check it, Buster.
From Butterbean. That's what it was.
Hang on.
Let me consult the almanac here.
Does it go back that far?
While we go to I'll look at that while we go to the Wars.
Marty, you've got to come back with me.
Wait. We can't go to the Wars. I forgot, man. What kind of service would we be doing to people if we didn't do every segment that we normally do? So, I gotta tell you about something that happened on this exact day in history. RVD got high. Now let's go to the Wars.
Marty, you gotta come back with me. Where?
Back to the future.
Wait a minute, Doc. What are you talking about? What happens to us in the future? What, do we become assholes or something?
Give me a hell yeah.
You want a war? You're gonna get one.
Mick Foley is going to win their world title.
Has been paid for by the New World Order. Come on, Vince. Step into the ring.
My God, the battle lines have been drawn. D-Generation X invades WCW tonight.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. Have a nice day. We got 2 words for ya.
And Aguila for Michinoku's light heavyweight title. There it is, the Michinoku driver. Commissioner Slaughter will be handcuffed to China. The commissioner has been blinded. Low blow and a green. That's it. This is only the 3rd mixed tag match in WrestleMania history. Sable with a TKO. The Intercontinental title on the line. The ankle lock. The Rochester. The referee has reversed his decision for refusing to break the submission hold. First ever dumpster match for the WWF Tag Title. Only way to win. Both members of one team to be placed in this dumpster. P. Rose a little bit nervous here. Where's he going? P. Rose just got tombstone. I've never seen anybody manhandle the Undertaker like that. Undertaker with tombstone. The Undertaker has won the match. This is the WWF title match. And the enforcer, Mike Tyson. How can he be impartial? The Stinger. Austin is the champion. Tyson has double crossed the X.
Well, brother. Take heed to what Macho Man said. Behind you, there may be one, or there may be many waiting to stick a knife in your back.
There are a lot of people behind him, too.
You don't have to worry about me, because I'll shoot you right between the eyes.
come out on television saying I couldn't cut the mustard? Well, Hulk Hogan, you suck, pal. So I don't think you have any room to talk about anybody cutting any kind of mustard. And Hulk, I got some more advice for you. You better not stop short, or Eric Bischoff will go so far up your ass, he'll know what you had for breakfast.
Well, he's telling the truth so far.
And now on to important matters at hand. I'm sitting at home with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. And I get a call from one of my best friends in my entire life, Triple H. And he says, DX needs your help. Well, damn it, Triple H. Anytime you ever need anything from me, pal, you got it. And I got something else to say. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall would be standing right here with us if they weren't being held hostage by World Championship Wrestling. And that's a fact, Eric Bischoff. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
You agree with that too, JR? Where's your DX t-shirt?
So the way I see it right now, this is a new beginning for D-Generation X, and we're here to rip ass on the World Wrestling Federation. And it starts tonight!
Well, this kid...
Fast forward, 2019. I'm sitting at home with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. And ODM calls me and says, the podcast needs you. Sorry, no. I love this fucking... I absolutely love this fucking promo from X-Pac coming back. We've referenced it so much, but there's so many other parts that I really love. We always reference the "you suck, pal." It's funny. I kept saying Eric Bischoff, "you suck, pal," and it's Hogan. No shit. Proven wrong this past week while watching, but so many just memorable lines that he gives and good fiery promo. Loved it. We're gonna break it down. We're also gonna break down what you heard with Nash and Hogan there, and of course, WrestleMania 14. Take it away. It was in Boston, Massachusetts.
Austin, Massachusetts. All right.
I slept with your boyfriend twice, and then you see that girl beating the living piss out of her boyfriend. That's a good movie. I actually just recently rewatched that.
Are you here for the feeding?
It's going to be a bloodbath.
All right.
Girls don't just stand around the room naked. Yeah, they do. And this is my story, okay? Anyway, girl comes in naked. Really naked. Tom Green's best role. Next to Freddie got fingered.
Yeah, well.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Yeah, that's really the only line from the movie.
Well, I'm the backwards man, the backwards man, backwards man, the backwards man. I can walk back as fast as you can. No?
No.
Wow, you really suck, pal. Go ahead.
Moving on, pal. Took it from me. Damn it. WrestleMania 14, the opening thing, you talk about the tradition's gone from WrestleMania. It's nothing but rogues and degenerates with brash bravado. You know Vince wrote that shit out. We open up with a 15-team battle royale, and your mystery team is Legion of Doom with Sunny. I'm not even going to sell it because, we've been alluding to it.
I'm just going to about it, and she's got... The only difference is now she has flaming tatters.
Bro. All right, first let's talk about LOD real quick. They're wearing Schemobile masks, it looks like. Hawk's Mohawk is gone. They've got new tights. Actually, I think Animal might be in shorts.
Animal is in shorts.
Yep, and they win naturally. The only thing that I paid attention to was Sunny's new outfit. I think it's amazing. I'm going to give it a 10.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say it's the last good thing she's probably going to be doing in WWF.
Yep.
I really don't think
Not that
she
it was even
stays
good.
around much longer.
Yeah, no,
I'm
she's
pretty
not.
sure I think she goes full ECW after this.
Yep. But yeah, we'll get more into that on Raw. Taka versus Aguila for the light heavyweight title. Taka wins. Next, we get a Jennifer Flowers interview with The Rock, and it's basically just a bunch of euphemisms about government and The Rock. But I love it because we're going.
Can I do my favorite line? All right, this is my favorite one. Rock, if you were president, how would you handle the homeless situation? Well, the Rock looks at it this way: as long as those homeless piece of trash keep their cardboard boxes off the Rock's freshly mowed lawn, everything's copacetic. That and then being or go ahead. I bet
the Supreme Court justice. He goes, "I tell you what, if The Rock was a Supreme Court justice, it would be a hung jury. If you smell what I'm cooking."
Oh my God. It was a great interview. I remember where I was at for this pay-per-view. My buddy Spade, I've mentioned on him on here this show many, many times. We had a huge party of people, and I remember all of us marking out for this promo. It was hysterical. It was just Rock in his finest. And it's not even the only time we're going to see him for the night. It's, goddamn, it was just good way to butter you up for when he comes out.
No, it's one of those things. He got the opportunity. He fucking ran with it. Same way Austin did. You know, you just got to you got to fucking call your shot. Yeah. So the band that plays the DX theme is there live. They play Triple H out. The singer doesn't sing. They just play the music. But it's Triple H with Chyna versus Owen for the European title. Slaughter's at ringside and he handcuffs himself to Chyna so she can't interfere. She refuses to go to the floor, but It turns into this big thing where he gets into the ring and Chyna's like, no, why don't you make me? She shoves Slaughter. Slaughter cuffs her as she tries to walk away. Then they just callously bring up on commentary, oh yeah, Earl Hebner's in a local hospital in the ICU. What? Okay.
You know what's funny is I swear all these years, I never knew. I mean, I looked into it later, but I was like, why does Shawn do what he does later on? Before going out, and we'll make mention of it.
Yep.
But I was like, it's so weird, but I have never apparently rewatched Triple H and Owen until now to hear that. I was like, oh no shit, they actually brought that up.
Yep.
No wonder it fell short on me at the party that night, and it never stuck.
Right. Yeah, I mean, easy to miss. You know what I mean? And
totally.
In the midst of everything. But
that's what you're saying. They're like, oh my God, are they going to cover? Oh God, he's cuffed. Okay, oh, good. Oh, Earl's dying. All right, and here's Owen Hart.
Yeah, so Owen gets a sharpshooter on Triple H, crawls to the ropes. Chyna's still able to help him get to the ropes, even though she's handcuffed. And then Chyna just pulls out a bunch of powder, throws it in Slaughter's eyes. Owen actually slaps Chyna, fucking reaches down over the rope, and I think he actually caught her.
I don't think he meant to. I think he was trying to look like the whole reach down, like you swat at someone.
Yeah.
And I think she just kind of leaned in a little more than she should have, but she's a pro.
The ref gets distracted, and we get a low blow from Chyna to Owen. Pedigree, Triple H retains. Chyna pulls Tim White to unlock the cuffs and then attacks Slaughter. Little side note, I don't think we've ever brought it up. Do you know Tim White was fucking Andre the Giant's handler?
I did.
Yeah.
Man. May have been Bruce Pritchard that I heard that one from.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
It's not me personally. It was his podcast. That it's these are one of those funny moments for me with refs. The entire air is filled with fucking powder right now, and you see it all over Slaughter and everything, and you see Owen's down holding his dick. Nothing ever comes to a ref's mind. It just makes me laugh sometimes when you watch these things. And he turns and sees it all too.
What the fuck's going on here?
It's a lot. It got dusty in this place real quick.
We had a quick recap of the Mero, Sable, Goldust, Luna feud, and that's the match we get next, and it's basically what you'd expect. Sable gets the pin with a TKO. She gets a powerbomb and a TKO. That's about it.
Those were pretty sick. She looked pretty good for her first outing in wrestling. No one thought she was going to do anything, because most times when you're in this kind of situation, you're like, oh, she is going to fail. No, she looked really good, and Luna was the right one to take the bumps with her.
Oh, 100%. Definitely. So... All right, Tennessee Lee introduces Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett's accompanied to the ring by Jennifer Flowers. Jarrett asks her, ain't I great? And she says, well, I've been with great, and you are great. And then she just announces the Intercontinental Championship match. Jarrett was just there to accompany her to the ring. Okay.
I'd much rather see him ride the horse to the ring.
Yeah, I know. Of course, they didn't have the horse. Fucking WrestleMania. Ay. Fucking missed opportunity. Anyway. So, yeah, it is The Rock with the Nation versus Shamrock for the IC title. Rock gets disqualified. So if The Rock gets disqualified, he loses the title. Farouk is not there with the Nation. At one point, Shamrock grabs a chair. The ref tries to take it, and Shamrock just shoves the ref down. Rocky grabs the chair and hits a headshot on Shamrock. But Shamrock kicks out, starts hulking up. Rock busted open his lip at one time. That thing is fucking gushing all over the place. We get an ankle lock from Shamrock, and he fucking wins the title. Nation runs in, but Shamrock fights him off. Then he has a face-off with Mark Henry, hits a belly-to-belly on him. He drags Rock back in for the ankle lock. Farouk runs to the ring. He stops on the apron, flips Rock off, and just fucking leaves. You get all the Stooges in to stop Shamrock. He takes them all out. Rock is selling. He's got that bloody lip. It looked great. Similar, maybe not as good as the Austin Brett thing, but, very similar. He ends up getting stretchered out. Then the ref says, well, we're reversing the decision because Shamrock didn't break the hold when he was told to. So Shamrock says, well, fuck all that. He runs down Rock, knocks him off the stretcher, continues the beatdown, and there's a sign that says 6 is overpaid.
That's hysterical. I saw that as well. That's really funny for when that kid watched Raw the next night. It's kind of like a dusty finish, I guess, if you're going to put the title right back on Rocky. You know what I mean? Like the reverse decision's kind of dusty-ish finish or whatever you want to call it.
Sort of.
You think you have a new champion. Much. I forgot that they actually awarded him the championship, that he actually gets the win over Rocky. When he won, I go, oh? How the fuck is this playing out? Oh, yeah. Is it unfolded? I go, oh, yeah. I forgot all about the whole reverse.
Yep. Not bad. Solid match. Speaking of, Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack versus the New Age Outlaws in a dumpster match for the tag titles.
Can we just get to just a couple of things? We really don't have to dissect a whole lot of it.
The best part of this is Chainsaw Charlie is dressed like Terry Funk.
Yep.
It was great.
And at what point, I can't figure it out, Funk had a giant, huge bruise on his lower back, upper ass, hip area.
I know that was. I think it happened in this match they showed on Raw.
Okay, I didn't see what part of the match it happens.
Yeah,
but oh my god, dude,
I think it was going into the dumpster.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah,
the ending is cool. You're supposed to be fighting in the dumpster. It's by the ringside, and the lids get smashed in because they were closed. So now they can't use that one. If that was your actual plan, good job. You know what I mean? I'm like, were they trying to get those lids ever back out, or if they did that on purpose? Smart idea, because now you have to go to the back.
Right.
Sure, it pisses off people in the arena, but you're supposed to be seeing this finish, and now you don't. In front of you, and it goes to the back, and they use this forklift that has a crate on top, and Funk is the one driving it. As soon as I saw it was him, I'm like, something tells me it should be Foley driving this thing right now. And look, Chainsaw Funk didn't do too bad. Ran at it at first rather than getting it on over the top of the lid so he could put it on top of the lids of the dumpster. Instead, just hit it with full fucking force and move the thing a good 2 feet, which was hysterical. He finally did, but the whole time he's just muttering, I got it, I got him, look at him, I fucking got him.
Yeah, he started fucking
swearing and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, well.
And that's when they win the tag team championship.
They probably have a lengthy reign.
I think they might be bringing it to like Bruno Sammartino style status with this, but with the tag team titles.
Yeah, we'll find out. Next, you get a hype package for Taker Kane, which is our next match. My favorite part of the fucking night. Fink introduces Pete Rose. JR goes, well, undoubtedly a future Hall of Famer. I'm like, ha!
That's awesome.
No. It's a damn shame. Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. He's your guest ring announcer. And he's
put
just
a bet on it?
And he's no. Touche. He just starts trolling the crowd because we're in Boston. So Red Sox, last time we were here, we kicked your ass. You guys can't win a World Series. My favorite line, we left tickets for Bill Buckner. He couldn't bend down to pick them up.
That's the most memorable line for me from that one.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yep, absolutely. It's fucking great. City of Losers, how about it? He says introducing, and then the lights go out. Kane's music. He hits Rose with a tombstone. The official.
Well, hang on. He goes introducing, and he does like a weird, like breathe, like he's about to,
pause.
Right, and he does, but they didn't hit the music in time. It was so unnatural looking. But yes, Kane comes out. God, please. Continue.
Yeah, he hits Rose with a tombstone, and it's hilarious because they had a stretcher waiting for him. The officials roll him right out to the stretcher. Apparently, Kane's a Red Sox fan.
But what I don't get is why the crowd popped hard for it. So now you're having, like, didn't you want Kane to get booed against The Undertaker in this match?
It was a bad matchup because the idea was to get the heat on Rose, but in doing so, you temporarily made Kane a babyface.
You had no one else on the roster that could have came out and hit this dude.
Right. It just is a passing thing. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Well, again, logic. Because wrestling. Yeah, so great entrance. The Druids come out with torches for Taker. Funny, they didn't look Druish. I love fucking Taker's ring gear for this. The fucking cloak with the big backing on it, almost fucking Dracula-like, dude. Looked badass.
Kind of like what Keith Lee wears to the ring every week on Rampage now.
Blackula, right? So the match starts. We get Taker at one point. He ends up in the electric chair. Kane looks to face plant him, but Taker landed right on his feet. It was an awkward spot for two big guys. Kane hits a chokeslam, lifts Taker's head at 2.5. Taker goes for a tope. He misses Kane and goes through the announce desk. That was fucking... Dude, I cringe every time I see him do a tope because he's so big, he has to make sure his feet don't clip the ropes. So he's always halfway from doing a full front fucking flip.
During this era, we're okay. When we get into like the later 2000s, that's when you start watching and you're like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like WrestleMania 25.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
Taker goes for a tombstone. Kane reverses it into his own tombstone. Taker kicks out. Taker gets a knockdown, hits a choke slam. Tombstone. Kane kicks out, gets right up. Taker hits a second one. Kane kicks out again. Commentary selling the shit out of it. Taker hits a top rope lariat, a third tombstone. He gets the win. Bear gets a chair and goes into the ring. He shoves the ref down. He starts kicking Taker. Tells Kane to get him, but Taker gets a shot in on Bear. Kane uses the chair on Taker, tombstones him on the chair, leaves him in the ring. They leave.
Made Kane look strong, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about the 3 tombstones.
Yeah.
As soon as it started happening again, I remembered, oh yeah, that's right. As soon as he kicked out of the first one is when I was like, oh, it goes to 3 fucking tombstones. And I remember again, at my buddy's house, everybody's like, holy shit, he's going to beat him. He's going to beat him. We all thought Kane may actually defeat Undertaker. There would have really been no real streak at that point. Right now, he put himself to what, 7, 6-0
like
at
that.
best.
Yeah, no signs, no mention of it, nothing. Yeah.
Oh, they didn't know. They don't even mention. I think the very first time I remember them mentioning it is when he goes 10-0 against Ric Flair at WrestleMania 18.
There you go.
That's it.
All right. So there's that. All right. So that brings us to our main event. I've got so many fucking notes on this. I'm gonna try to go through this. Interject.
Can I ask who comes out first? Was it Austin?
Well, Tyson actually comes out first, but yeah, Austin comes out. Yeah.
Okay. The very infamous him walking down the hall scene that we've all seen in every Austin promo. This was this. That's what this is from. And what's special about this is it shows them coming all the way from their dressing room, Stone Cold first. And just as he gets to the gorilla curtain, it cuts back to the arena. You never get to see the production side of Gorilla. You never saw it until like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, actually, one of the first times they did it was when Roman went in backstage and started yelling at Vince, I don't want to wrestle here, blah, 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 because Brock, remember that stupid whatever.
Yeah.
It was one of the first times they purposely put that on camera. But that being said, they stop at the curtain, go back to the arena. Glass hits. It was a good pop. I don't, for some reason, I thought like the crowd kind of seemed a little weak on that pop for Austin when he came out.
Could have just been the mix or something, maybe.
I feel like it was just, we're just waiting and feeling things out. You know what I mean? Because you got to get all the way to the main
well,
or through it.
The energy definitely increased throughout the match, at least. But yeah. So
I'm almost wondering, were they a little worn out from the Taker Kane match because they were pretty into it?
Yeah, they could have been. Yeah, certainly.
Should have put Pete Rose in there to amp him up again.
Yeah, right.
You know he should have went after that. Is what I'm saying. Not
exactly.
Like
no, I got you. Yeah, makes sense.
But then what I had made mention to earlier is another very infamous shot. But you see DX, all three of them walking to the ring, and what I love about this is as they're about to walk and they turn the corner, China takes a left. As they're facing the camera, China takes a left, Michaels takes a left, and as Triple H goes to go by, he flips that camera off that's facing him, and I was like, I fucking love that era. Or at least like this version of them. And this is the very famous shot that everybody remembers where Triple H is hugging him from behind, be like, this is the man right here, pointing at Michaels. They every time they had like a fight, you know, they're like, they were the best of friends. That's the picture they showed every time. And what I made mention earlier, this is where Michaels looks at the camera and he just goes, this is for you, Earl. And I was like, so the question I have to ask you, is it because he's sick or is it because he also took a major brunt of the Montreal screw job and you said, I have no idea, my hand to God? That won't come to bite you in fucking couple of years.
Yep.
Hand to God. That's the funniest part. Anyway. Now, let's talk about the DX band. Seth Green was the lead singer of this. Or at least that's what it looked like.
He looked like a dollar. He did look like a dollar store Zach De La Roca, who was the lead singer for Rage Against the Machine. That's what he looked like. Because, I mean, that's what the band was trying to be. You know what I mean?
I don't get why. Maybe it's being in an arena and there's weird monitor feedback. I don't know how that happens. But why is it every time at like a WrestleMania, everybody seems to be a fucking measure off on their own song that they wrote?
Yeah. It was a
little...
like,
ding, 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 ding. It was like the regular beat, and he was like, I don't know, a sentence off on like every line, it felt like. It was horrible.
Yep. It wasn't great. But they're not a great band. They were just proficient enough to record it and call it a day. Yeah, this is...
Lemmy was better.
Of course he was. Lemmy is God. My big thing with this is seeing Shawn Michaels. You can tell he's soaking this all in because he knows. He knows. I mean, at this point in time, he probably thinks his career is over, you know, for good. So you can tell he's soaking this shit in. Beginning of the match.
Funny, he is walking like there is a giant stick in his ass because he had to be stiff with his back. Like he just was straight up the entire time, could barely bend his body.
We're gonna talk. I'm gonna bring up stuff. I definitely want to get to that stuff. This is where you get your famous meme from, where Shawn's just kind of prancing around the ring and he's smiling at Austin. Austin flips him up and Michael's face just drops.
I love that one.
Fucking great moment. Yeah, man, there was one spot Austin threw Shawn over the top and the back of his head hit the apron. Like, it was fucking pretty nasty. It was, you know, your fucking back was bad enough. Then fucking Triple H throws Austin in a barricade. He fucking heed first. Officials send China and Triple H to the back. Austin chases Triple H up to the stage. They do a little fight up there. Austin gets thrown into a dumpster. Man, Shawn had to be fucking pilled to the gills on this one because, oof, you know what I mean? He fucking, you can see it. There's a couple spots here. So
you see the pain in his face.
Yep.
Even with pills, even you could tell that he's like pilled up to do what he can. Probably took a shot in the back, pills, whatever it was, man. And I'm sure that, you know, anything short of illegal or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But he or illegal in any of it, he was still just grimacing in pain. And one of them is, that every time he went to go near the rope, watching him walk up the top rope, each step looked like he could barely even lift his leg.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. There's a spot that I really liked. Sean had Austin in the position like he was going to do the figure 4 post spot. Mm-hmm. Basically like that. But Austin, while HBK had his legs, Austin used his legs to pull Michaels into the post. That was a cool spot. Yeah. Don't really see that a lot.
I like that spot.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, there was one part where Shawn Michaels does a snapmare to Austin, and he just fucking winces and goes, "God damn it!" You could tell he just fucked up his back just on a snapmare. I mean, he wasn't at that point. He's like, "Well, I ain't hiding this shit. Fuck it, I'm out." He flips off the fans. You got to give credit to Shawn for this match. Watching it with fresh eyes. I mean,
and his dealer.
What this? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Shout out to Shawn Michaels' dealer.
Pills are in the top drawer.
So yeah, we get a ref bump. Basically, Austin's in a sleeper, and he backs up into the corner, but he catches the ref. Shawn Michaels does the kick up. He winces on that one. He does the elbow drop. Yeah. He winces on that one. Starts tuning up the band, and this is I love this finish. Austin reverses it, goes for the stunner. That gets reversed. Austin into the ropes, comes back. Super kick gets reversed into a stunner. Tyson slides in, fast 3 count. Roof blows off the fucking place.
Fastest 3 count ever.
Yep. Austin gets handed a shirt. It's an Austin 316 shirt. He gives it to Tyson. Tyson holds it up. Shawn Michaels gets up like, well, what the fuck is going on? He takes the shirt from Tyson, and Tyson just drops Shawn Michaels. And here is like the final. Shawn is knocked out from Tyson. They have a close-up on his face, and he's either chewing gum or grinding his teeth, and you can see his eyes like twinge because he's in pain. Like you can see it.
You know what I got to be honest about is the way he moved his mouth. It looked like he was moving his jaw. I thought maybe Tyson connected a little bit because it all happens pretty quick and so fast, and he's not exactly your guy that's used to throwing fake punches.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that he may have connected a little bit. I thought he actually was moving his jaw and but you're knocked out and selling at the same time. Yeah, exactly. But then. Yeah, but you can see the wince in this pain. But yeah, and they go off kind of quick.
Yeah. Tyson flips off the crowd, leaves with Austin. The one thing is Tyson took the 316 shirt and laid it on Shawn Michaels' face. And I've always heard that Shawn Michaels was not happy about that for whatever reason.
Yeah, I did hear that.
That's that story.
And then later on that night was the press conference.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Tyson keeps saying Cone stoled. And he goes, "It's Stone Cold Steve Austin, goddammit." He finally corrects him, and you see Tyson just laughing his ass off. But also Michaels storms in and causes a scene and leaves. I think it was all played so that he could take his time away, because maybe he didn't know how long he would be gone. But yeah, that's end of WrestleMania 14. It was fun. And then we kick off Raw the next night, coming in hot with the WWF champion.
There you go. Vince to the ring with the world title. JR says Triple H is going to be making an important announcement later tonight. Wonder what it is. Vince has the new title. It's the one with the dark blue strap. Commentary does call it out.
As soon as I saw this segment happen, again, remember where I was at. This one wasn't in my bedroom. It was my living room because I was like, night after WrestleMania, it's always big, man. Like, whatever happened. Even back then, you knew it was big because it's WrestleMania. And I was like, oh, I'm so ready to watch this. And as soon as I saw him in the ring with that, the fuck is that? And then when Austin grabs it, all right, funny enough that he throws the winged title down on McMahon's foot. And McMahon sells it like it broke his foot, basically. It was awesome. Oh, man, it rushed feelings right back to me as soon as I saw this thing again. I go, God damn it. I just never really cared for that title that much.
No.
I've actually never really cared for a title since the Wing title, but that's just me. I like the big gold belt, but that was WWE using something that WCW had in NWA.
Right.
But I digress.
Well, there we go. Vince was having issues with the mic. Somebody got fired that night.
Mm-hmm.
Vince says he wants to clear up any misunderstandings on what he said about, me not wanting you to be the champion. I'm proud of you becoming champ. Proud for you to represent this company, my company, and together with my vision and your charisma, my mental and your physical prowess, you can become the greatest champ of all time. And he says, well, yeah, ain't no we. You're not going to mold me. You're not going to break me. What you see is what you get. Vince fucking starts rambling on. He says he's incapable of hate. He thinks you're a swell guy. I love you. I think you're a hell of a guy. And Austin just goes, what did you say? What did you say? Makes Vince repeat it. They have a laugh about it. Austin goes, I love you too. And I'm not going to do things your way. I'm going to raise hell. And then McMahon says, well, you can do it the easy way or the hard way. Austin wants a definition on what that is. And Vince says, well, the easy way is you can learn to be flexible, learn to adapt. The hard way, you're going to end up doing it my way anyway. We don't need to discuss that. Austin says, can I get about 10 seconds to think about it? Takes his 10 seconds and stuns McMahon. Again, top 3 worst stunners all time.
Oh, yeah. Well, the most had to be WrestleMania 38. This was another one of those spots that's popular, I think, in Austin's entrance video. Him thinking about it and then scratching his head right before the stunner. Love that part.
Yep, absolutely. Big pop. Come back from break. McMahon's being tended to by the Stooges. Next, you get LOD with Sonny versus Jose and Jesus. It's a squash. Sonny announces them as LOD 2000. I mean, the outfit alone makes it tolerable.
Sure.
Kevin Kelly's in the security office talking about Vince has just called the cops. He's pissed off. He wants Austin arrested. We see Kevin Kelly again. He says Austin said he's not going anywhere, and Vince ain't got the balls to have me arrested. Next, match of the night, Kurgan versus Chains. It's just basically a shit match so they can show Vince backstage and the Stooges waiting for the police to arrive. And they do right at the end of the match. Vince escorts them into the arena. He shows them where the locker rooms are. He doesn't go with them. We come back from break. We get Jeff Jarrett versus Aguila. Jeff Jarrett wins, but Blackman runs in and attacks Jarrett. Going back to the more important
The horse
stuff.
was there this time.
The horse was there this time, naturally. I don't have to fucking figure it out. Vince leads the police on Austin. Cuffed through the arena. Austin gets taken away. Vince, Slaughter, and Briscoe head to the ring and says, Vince says, I owe you fans an explanation. Austin selected his choice. I selected mine. Mic drop. There you go. We get a backstage promo from Triple H. Triple H is going to drop the hammer. There you go.
Yep.
Rock's with the Nation backstage. I love it. Ross is interviewing him, and Jim Ross, shut your mouth and know your damn role. He says he's going to lay the smack down on him. Farouk, you opened my eyes to something. I want to thank you. You're the reason The Rock has joined the Nation and become successful. I guarantee the Nation will be the strongest it's ever been. Takes us to the war zone. We get Farouk and Rock versus Shamrock and Blackman. There's a sign in the crowd. 6 is DX's lucky number. And the fucking chat message boards start blowing up around this time. Rock wants Farouk to tag him in so he can start with Shamrock, and he stalls and he tags Farouk back in. Rock teases like he's going to tag Farouk later in the match, but he raises it so Farouk can't reach it, and he says, nah, fuck you, bounces. Shamrock gets the win. Farouk gets on the mic after the match and says, hey, boy, listen to me. I told you, punk, no boy grows into a man if they cross me. I love that line. I thought that was a good line.
Mm-hmm.
I know you like designer clothes. I'm going to make you wear an ass whipping. That's another good one.
I love that one. That was a great line. I'm like, and only he can get away with it.
Oh, yeah.
If I got in a fight with someone, I'm like, yeah, I know you like fancy clothes, but you're about to wear an ass whooping. People are like, boo!
Oh, man. So Rock comes back to the ring. They have a little face-off. Farouk takes Rock down. They brawl. It's a pull-apart. Rock leaves again, and Farouk says, it ain't over. Get your ass back down here. And the Nation turns on Farouk. It bums me out. I mean, it just because I like Farouk. But I know where we're going with him, so at least we get some more good shit from him. Rock hits the rock bottom. Farouk gets on the mic. He says, well, I'm the leader now of the nation, and let me leave you with something else, Stomps him. And he goes, take that back to Haiti with you. I didn't know Farouk was Haitian.
Okay. So, so far, night after WrestleMania, your newest WWF champion has been arrested, and we have a new leader in the Nation of Domination. A new push forward for someone for next year. What's crazy? Both those names I just mentioned, who are your biggest 2 segments in Raw so far, main event WrestleMania 15.
There you go.
Nice. But that's not the only person that took over. There's a lot of these things. I can't wait. Please go.
Well, next you get Triple H and China the ring, and Triple H says a lot can happen in 24 hours. He calls out Tyson about what he did, and then he actually calls out Shawn Michaels. He goes, you dropped the ball. Don't worry, HBK. Triple H picked it up. I'll take care of the worries and the problems, make the decisions. He says the genesis of DX, I formed the DX Army to take care of business that should have been taken care of from the start. When you start an army, do what no one else can do. You look to your blood. You look to your friends. You look to the clique. Points to fucking DX music. It's fucking X-Pac. Triple H meets him on the ramp. They hug it out real quick. That was cool to see, just because you know that they're probably fucking excited to be working together again. JR calls it a coup. This is really the first big signing from WCW since the wars have started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett came back. Yeah, you did a lot with that.
He's playing both sides. And he's telling you he's playing both sides. Hey, Vince, don't worry. Look at, you should work, even though I worked for Eric, you should have me work for you because I'm playing both sides.
Yeah, I'm with you. Triple H says, when you've been an indentured slave for 2 years, yada, yada. I don't even know if they call him anything. I don't know if they call him X-Pac or Six.
They haven't even said his name.
Waltman.
Nope, not even
Yeah,
once.
they didn't say his name. So X-Pac says, I got to get something off my chest. Hulk saying I couldn't cut the mustard. You suck, pal. I got more advice. You better not stop short or Bischoff will go so far up your ass he'll know what you had for breakfast. I got important matters at hand. Sitting home, I get a call from one of my best friends, Triple H. DX needs your help. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall would be standing right here with us if they weren't being held hostage by WCW. And that's a fact, Eric Bischoff. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And, dude, the line of the night. It's a new beginning for DX. We're here to rip ass on the WWF.
Rip ass.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
And I'm here to shit all over everyone's faces.
Well, you know what I didn't expect? I did not expect the next segment.
Can I ask if it's the vignette?
It is the vignette.
Can I take reins on this, please?
You can take it. It's all yours.
What did I say about 2 years ago, likely? F the Attitude Era, right? And you said, the greatest era that we've ever seen. Just, many reasons. But as this show progressed, I go, oh my God, they put the gas pedal down on Attitude Era the night after WrestleMania. And with debuts, everything that has to be done, I'm like, this is becoming straight up Attitude Era. And the vignette, you see a guy laying down watching TV, but you haven't seen his face yet. And there's kind of like some moaning or whatever in the background. And as they start panning over, it's Val Venus. And we haven't even heard his name yet. But he's talking about how he's watching his own work there. Ooh, I look great. Yeah. And what's funny is the movie is Live Hard. And he goes, because Bruce Willis, basically, instead of Die Hard, he's Live Hard. Look at that one, meh. Some of the other ones that come out, like Saving Ryan's Privates, things like that, he has some great names. He has some great lines. I can't wait. And Val Venus is coming. Not even coming soon. Val Venus is coming. That's what the end of this thing is. I was like, and we're off to the races. Where else can we go and make this any more Attitude Era-like? Please, continue.
Well, if you stay tuned, we'll get to it, because we get Taka Michinoku versus Mero with Sable. Luna comes up on the ramp. She wants a rematch. Sable accepts. JR goes, well, that was easy.
But
oh, no. Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Luna wants a special match. An evening gown match. And basically, it just means the winner is the one with the most clothes left on. Luna says she's going to strip Sable down to her bras and panties if you wear them, you little slut.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hit turbo. We have nitrous oxide or nitrous. Let's go. Boom. Let's keep going. Let's keep hitting that gas, hitting harder. We're hitting right into the fucking Attitude Era. So not only do we have a porn star on the way, now we're going to have a let's get naked match.
Yep, pretty much. Be there, slut.
But hang on, two things about this. One, she made what could sound to be a very sexy match sound extremely unsexy. The first one gets their clothes ripped off. Ew. But the other one is Sable. The way she kept saying, it's for Miss Sable. She was awesome. It's hurting my throat to get done with that.
It's rough. I don't know how you do it, man. Oh, wait, there's actually a match here. Mero wins. They're arguing on the way back, and then three guys run in and beat down Taka. And JR with the line of the night.
Please tell me. Yes, oh my God. I was like, please tell me they didn't. Oh my God.
Three Oriental men are here. You can't use that word anymore, JR.
I don't think it was all right in 98, bro. That was that. But then I go, oh my God, it's Kai and Tai.
Kai and Tai, yeah.
And all that ever makes me lead to is I choppy your pee-pee.
We got both of them in the same night.
Yeah. Bro, oh my God, everything is all here. Everyone's here. The gang's all here. Attitude's here. We got titties. We got chopping dicks. Let's do it.
Yeah, and we're going to have Brawl for All soon. I can't wait to relive that shit show. All right. New Midnight Express versus the Headbangers for the NWA Tag Titles. Cornette calls down Dan the Beast Severn.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is cool because Shamrock and Severn already have a history with UFC. Bringing them in here together, that's huge. I was excited about it at the time.
Well, they talk about it. He is your current NWA champ. Cornette's on commentary. His sound was shit. It sounded like he was in a toilet. He calls out Severn beating Shamrock in MMA, and JR's like, yeah, well, Shamrock beat Severn. That's right. He did whip Joe Louis' ass.
Fuck you.
King says DX is announcing another member tonight. The Express win the NWA Tag Titles back. Or they win them. Yeah. Corny whispers to Dan Severn. He belly to bellies one of the headbangers. Double pump handle suplex to the other. Puts one in a submission hold. There you go. Next. Austin just randomly calls commentary on the phone. Yeah, they get you one phone call when you're in jail. Tell McMahon he's a sorry son of a bitch. His ass belongs to me, and next week he's going to find out how pissed off I am. That will fucking get you to tune in.
Could you imagine, just saying this, you get in a fight with someone, and your one phone call is calling that someone and be like, motherfucker, this ain't over. Where are you going from? Jail. You're my one phone call. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's some gangster ass shit right there. So we get the crew setting up the cage for the tag title match, which is your main event. Kane comes out to the ramp. Barrett tells Taker to behold his brother. Did you believe it was all over? He's putting over the fact that Kane kicked out of 2 tombstones. I did start spacing out during this. He had a dream about wrestling in a ring surrounded by fire. Step into my dream, the ring, the fire. An Inferno, Unforgiven in your house.
Yep, that's right. I forgot that's coming up too. Holy shit.
Indeed.
So a lot of titties,
we're going to have to talk about that.
And we're going to burn people.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk and get in depth because I don't think we've really ever talked about that match like in depth in our thoughts and stuff. So it'll be good when it happens. We're going to have to spend some time on that one. Main event, Chainsaw Charlie.
By the way, you said the crew setting up the ring. It took almost nearly 2 segments to get that shit done, too, by the way. I think I now realize why they went to the other cage and lowering it from the ceiling. These guys took way too long to zip tie this shit together.
It did. Yeah, you thought they'd be a little faster at that point, but they're not. But anyway, It is your old school WWF blue fucking no roof cage. So it's Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus versus New Age Outlaws for the undisputed tag titles. They're using that word again. I don't think it means what they think it does. They show the footage of Funk getting treatment on the deep bruise earlier in the day. That's the bruise he had on his hip from the pay-per-view. So pretty nasty. Road Dogg's wearing a Job Squad shirt. I thought that was interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's what I said. Man, towards the end of the match, they take the long chain handcuffs and they put it under Funk's throat and chain him like that to the cage. It was fucking brutal. Funk was selling it really good. DX comes down. The Kid, they call him the Kid. JR did just reference 1, 2, 3 Kid, right? He hits Cactus with a chair while he's trying to escape. They do a spike pile driver to Cactus. Road Dogg does the worm, and that gives them the win. DX joins in the beatdown. They tie Funk's hands to the cage. Headshot to Cactus. DX music hits. Fucking Billy Gunn's doing the suck it gesture. They all climb to the top. New DX is formed.
Those shots that he gave to Foley with the chair were pretty rough.
Yeah, they Dave dented the chair.
The last one that he hit was square on top of his head for him to fall off the roof or the top of the cage. It was good. But yeah, man, dude, very solid night after WrestleMania. You know, and people think that some of the big WrestleMania night afters didn't happen until the later years. No, this was a solid one, man.
This was
very, very good.
One.
I'm excited. Because we're in a new era, and as much as I can shit on some of the weird things like bra and panties matches, setting people on fire matches, I'm still going to be excited to see all the fun shit along the way. It's entertaining. That's why we're here.
Yep, 100%.
Now let's talk about something not entertaining. Real quick.
You beat me to it again. Nitro, Chicago, Illinois. They show Nash and Hogan on Thunder. Everybody knows, and Nash says everybody knows the heart and soul of the NWO is the Wolfpack. Which gets him a really big pop. Our opening match is Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom versus High Voltage. The first note that I wrote down for this is, well, this match is getting interrupted. And
well, guess what?
It does.
It does, but guess what?
What?
Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom?
Yeah.
It's the OG Beverly Brothers back together in WCW. That's what that is.
They
thought that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, they've tagged before. But yeah, anyway, Giant just comes out and choke slams everybody, and Tenay says that's the Grand Slam because they're talking about bat matches. Giant accepts Piper's proposal to be partners in the tag match. We get Gene in the ring with Piper and Giant. Piper's wearing a Cubs hat. Yep, and says God bless Harry Carey. It's a long fucking meandering promo. Nash is going to get in the ring with Sting, and Luger has to pick a partner. It can't be Hogan. Hogan, my pal, he goes to spit out his gum. It gets caught on his lip. He fucking bricked that one. He calls out the Disciple and all his old gimmicks. He says his real name is E. Harrison Leslie. Wow. Okay. We get a...
Going real shoot.
Yeah, no shit, right? We get a quick recap of Hogan.
Hey, I got to say this. I just looked this up. Harry Carey died in February of 1998. So
oh, wow. So, wow, it was right after that.
Very recent timing for Piper to be doing that.
Well, there you go then. He got the fucking pop for sure. They show more of that promo between Hogan and Nash on Thunder. And this is, he says, why doesn't Six have a job here anymore if you're the leader of the NWO? Why isn't Scott Hall on TV? Is he too dangerous for TV? What's up with that? He says, your teeny buddy Six-Pac, not my fault he couldn't cut the mustard and run with the NWO. As for Hall, I have no clue where he's at. Thought since you were his best buddy, you'd clue me in into where he's at. Well, he's not here, that's for sure.
So, time-wise, Nitro started at 8. Raw starts at 9.
Right. Six is watching.
X-Pac took that cut the mustard line from something they were just saying on Nitro that night.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, that's like a rap battle and flipping the script that night live. That was excellent.
Yeah.
Well played. I didn't even know it until I was watching Nitro. I go, that's what he did?
Right.
I just thought someone said it to him backstage or some shit.
He said it on Thunder. This is a recap from Thunder. So he said you couldn't cut the mustard. He said that on Thunder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So basically they're just doing the back end thing. And he says, and Hogan says, hey, I'll partner with you later today on Thunder. And Nash says it would be an honor, brother, really sarcastically. So definitely teasing that. Let's see here. Saturn versus Fit Finley. Saturn wins. Gene's on the ramp pushing the hotline. NWO to the ring. No Hall, no Nash, no Macho. For life. More shit. Just another long meandering promo responding to Piper's. I got a ton of notes here. I don't even know what to say. But Big Sexy the Giant Killer comes down. Well, brother, take heed to what Macho said. Behind you, there may be one or many waiting to stick a knife in your back. And you don't have to worry about me, though. I'll shoot you right between the eyes. So, yeah, I thought that was a good promo. So, basically, what Hogan says is, well, you need a partner tonight, and it can't be me, and it ain't going to be anybody else in the Brotherhood. And Nash says, I already got one. So, spend the rest of the night trying to figure out who it is. Brother. Like the John between them. I like the John between them.
Yeah.
If you can believe this, Cruiserweight title match, Jericho versus Marty Jannetty. Okay. Jericho quotes it.
So as Sean leaves one company, Marty enters another.
Yeah, right. There you go. Jericho wins with the Lion Tamer. And he says, hold on, though, hold on. And he goes to the corner. He's got his bottle of water. He's got a cup of water. And remember the old dot matrix style printer paper?
Oh,
with
yeah.
the little feeders on the side. He grabs that. And I came prepared. It's the list of the 1,004 holds I have. And he starts reading them. You hear it in our fucking bumper. They come back from break. He's on hold 712. But he's not done. We go to hour 2. He's still in the ring. Jericho goes, I'm starting to get blown up here. His mic gets cut. Prince Iaukea comes out. Prince shoves him and takes the mic. He's sticking up for Malenko because Malenko trained Iaukea. Jericho bounces.
I couldn't believe it all happened that night. I was like, wow, this is a very busy night. This is awesome.
Yeah. Next, you get Iaukea versus Glacier. They're starting to push the idea that Glacier's been, he's turned for the worse. He's more aggressive. Iaukea actually wins. Next, you get El Dandy versus Hoovy. Hoovy
more
wins.
aggressive, but loses.
Yeah, I know, right? Kaz Hayashi versus Chavo. No Eddie with him. Chavo wins, and he helps up Kaz after the match. Next, you get Raven versus Buff the Stuff with Scott Norton. I almost said Jim Norton. That's hilarious. Raven comes from the front row. He has the U.S. title with him. He still has it from when he stole it from DDP. Cuts a promo, complains nobody understands what I was saying. I'll tell you all what I mean. DDP, he wants him to listen. Page was the first one to pick him up from rehab. He just threw that in there randomly. And my favorite line, he goes, I should have listened to the snake. And he says, quote the Raven, the U.S. champ forevermore. DDP comes to the crowd, chases him off, goes to commentary. And he goes, yeah, let me straighten some things out, give you the proper context. Raven helped me. I helped him. We helped each other. But Raven has selective memory. Poor little Scotty, silver spoon in his mouth growing up in that mansion. I had 3 kids. My mom had 3 kids before she was 20 and divorced. I had it worse, basically, is what he goes into. So I liked the back and forth between those two. The snake, when he says I should have listened to the snake, he's talking about Jake Roberts.
Oh.
Because DDP at one point goes, yeah, you should have listened to Jake. Because Raven just says the snake.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty crazy, huh?
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, this one went deep. All right.
Good shit. Next, you get Disco Twat Waffle versus Kidman. Twat Waffle wins. We go into hour 3. Get Kurt Hennig with Rick Rude versus Jim Neidhart. Rude joins commentary again. Bobby Heenan goes, nice tie, Rick. Thanks, Bobby. I fucking love this.
Beard's not fully back yet.
I love it. Same story as it was with Bulldog. Rude interferes. They handcuff him. But this time, fucking Bulldog runs in first. Adams comes in. Brett comes in. Hart gets on the mic. And it's basically the same shit he said last week. This kind of stuff is coming to an end. I know what it's like to be screwed. You said that last week, bro. It's still happening.
And Bulldog is wearing his finest pair of pajama bottoms.
Yes, he is. The fake jeans.
They were like very blue checkered. They looked like pajama bottoms. They were bad.
Definitely. Yeah, it was the Zubaz style. That was the style at the time. Next, you get Benoit versus Booker for the TV title. Benoit comes out wearing a Hitmen jersey. Pretty cool. Some matches you just watch, they hit the 10-minute limit again. Booker and Benoit and the fans want to keep going, but it doesn't. So there you go. Ultimo Dragon versus Psychosis. Flock interferes. Dragon and Psychosis hold him back. Ray Traylor versus Goldberg. Guess who wins? Flock has to hold Saturn back from Goldberg. Buffer announces your tag match. This is
oh, by the way, they actually say it's like 67-0 or some shit. Or whatever number it is. They actually mention out loud what number he's at. I go, oh, all of a sudden we're out loud just keeping track out of nowhere.
Yeah, right. Because even though it's like really maybe 10-0,
yeah,
it's not even close. But okay. That's
well,
fine.
We're not watching WCW Saturday night.
Oh,
so
that's
I guess
true. He probably wrestles 8 matches every Saturday. Yeah, I forgot about that. So it's Nash comes out first. He doesn't have his partner with him versus Sting and Luger. Macho comes out, pile drives Sting to the floor, hits Sting with the title, and Macho does the point to Nash. They are partners. Luger racks Nash. The Disciple naturally fucking interferes and makes the save. They drag Piper. Okay, so this match went nowhere. It was basically just a DQ. Piper, Hogan, and the Disciple fight off to the back. They go to break. They come back. They start to play the NWO music. They stop. Hogan and Piper just come back out fighting. They're the main event match. But they're already brawling, and they come back out with the Disciple. They end up in the ring eventually, and Disciple interferes, and it's a DQ. Hogan ends up hitting Nash when Piper ducks at the last second. Giant comes to the ring. Nash shoves Hogan. They all powder when they see Giant, and Nash and Hogan talk shit to go off the air.
It's about time.
It
We're
is about
seeing
time.
the red and black, baby. A little bit of time
absolutely.
for Wolfpack. That's exciting because if you think about it as well with that, the people that he was in the ring against, Nash that is, Sting and Luger, are both going to be in the Wolfpack. So it's just seeing how all this is about to play out. Kind of on board, It's funny because I was more WWF than I was Nitro, of course, or WCW. And on the night after WrestleMania, I was not really watching Nitro a whole lot. I don't remember a whole lot of the stuff, if at all. So it is kind of cool to see how some of these, the tension is playing out with the NWO.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, again, we're coming on when I was coming back home from Pittsburgh. So this is really where I started to pick up viewership again, about May of 98. I would say May, June of 98 is when I really started picking up again. So I remember, the aftermath of the split and all that stuff. So it'll definitely be cool to relive that. I wonder what fucking memories that's going to fucking trigger.
Well, you hear me reliving out my fucking childhood and
there you go.
Bad triggered memories. Have to have a cry session after the show every now and then. So far today, I think we're going to be all right. I could probably cancel that session with the doc. All right. Hey, man, time for the top topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for...
Best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be. Hold 2, arm bar.
Sodas rule. Yeah, they do.
Hold 3, the moss-covered, 3-handle family gradunzel. It's me, Austin.
Just when they think they got the answers, I change the questions.
I did it for The Rock.
This week's top topic.
You know something, Mean Gene? John Cena.
Wrestling's not fake.
The Rolex wearing one. Diamond ring wearing one. Kid stealing. Woo. Wheeling dealing. One. Limousine riding. One. Jet flying. One. Son of a gun. Woo.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
If you smell.
I'm excited, not only because it's WrestleMania weekend, but the WrestleMania theme is playing right now, and you know that that's my favorite thing to do. I'm excited. Man, oh man. Then you also got the WrestleMania.
I know.
I got to sing it every year. Every year, man. This is our 4th WrestleMania. You know that? We did the pandemic, man. 36, 37, 38, and here we go, 39. And we're going to talk about our predictions for WrestleMania 39, but today we're also going to be talking about our own all-time WrestleMania cards. We'll get into that in a couple of minutes. Let's really break down. We don't have to spend too much time on each one of these matches, but let's talk about the matches for WrestleMania. Again, we don't know the order, the card really that much for what night, so we're just going to go in somewhat of an order of importance in my eyes. Right now, we have 3 out of 4 teams that are put together for the women's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, and that is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey versus what's rumored to be Chelsea Green and I want to say Sonya Deville, I believe. Because Chelsea Green's been fighting with Adam Pearce to get her spot on TV, all that shit. She's basically playing a Karen. She's like, can I see the manager? Like, she keeps saying that all the time. So I think that they're just going that role. It doesn't matter. Shayna Baszler or Ronda Rousey. There's no way they are going into this and losing. I hope. Who do you think wins?
Oh, sorry.
This is the part we're doing predictions.
I'm highlighting my shit here. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. They've been teasing that they're going to be the dominant force in the women's tag division, which oddly doesn't really even exist. But
it's funny because Rousey just recently did a tweet talking about how they don't really give much love to the storylines for women's wrestling and how Liv Morgan and her could have had a better storyline. I'm like, she just tweets her feelings, no problem. And they're like, well, you're Ronda Rousey, fuck it. You can beat us all up. We'll let you just do it. In the other Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match that people aren't going to watch, you have Strowman and Ricochet thrown together as a team versus Chad Gable and Otis. There's been a lot of splitting between them because Otis is working with like that modeling.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of confused. But
so it's kind of weird that that's happening. I'm sure we're going to get that split. I think Chad Gable, if Otis does that, that'll make Otis kind of in a heel role. Maybe Chad becomes face. I mean, people love his shoosh.
I hate that so much.
I kind of like it. But the other two teams are Viking Raiders and Private Profits. I don't even care, to be honest with you. But if I had to put a prediction to this, probably Private Profits.
Think so? I'm going to say Strowman and Ricochet. I almost wonder if they use this as a vehicle to split up Private Profits.
Could be. And I know it's Private Party and
who gives a shit?
Profits, but you know how we roll.
Yep.
Did you see the picture of Cody Rhodes holding up Braun Strowman on his shoulders?
Yeah.
I was like, bro, 5 days away from Mania. What the fuck you doing?
Gonna pull a Vince McMahon?
Both of us. Oh my god, I love that shit.
Did you see the
man, like have a thing with like a intern? What?
Did you see the mock-up? I don't know where this came from, but somebody did like a winged eagle style belt with Cody. That looks pretty fucking dope.
I did. Did you see the weight belt that he's going to be wearing to the ring?
He's got
the
names,
all the promotions that he's
all
worked
the promotions.
with.
That's pretty fucking cool too.
Pretty sick.
There are rumors. I didn't put it in the news because it's fucking rumors and the source didn't seem great. But it sounds like that WWE may be unveiling a new title belt.
I hope so.
And I hope they unify it or just ditch the Universal.
They almost should have did it a long time ago.
They should have done it a long time ago. Should have never done it in the first fucking place.
Brock Lesnar and Omos are going to have a 60-minute Iron Man submission match.
Yeah.
I just hope it's a squash one way to the other. 7 minutes is going to be too long for this match. I can promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say, I think Omos goes over.
Really?
Personally, I think he has to. Lesnar doesn't need the win. He could take a loss here, especially if MVP can get involved.
I go with Lesnar.
Yeah, likely. Damage Control taking on Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch. Face has got to go over.
Yeah, faces. That's what this match is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Dom. There's no way Rey beats him.
Yeah, I want to believe that Dominic getting it is going to be, gives him the bigger rub, keeps his shit strong. But it's WWE, man. I could see Rey winning. I'm going to call it just to be contrarian. I was going to
say, I said Rey wasn't going to win the World Championship against Kurt Angle and Randy Orton, and then, wow, WrestleMania 22 really threw me for a loop.
Yep.
Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. Look, and I'm going to steal a line because I saw it on What Culture. I will say that this wasn't my idea, but I want to say this. Please, Lord, do not let any Paul family members get involved. Just be it between Logan and Seth and leave it there. Do not let Jake Paul get involved at all.
That would be preferred.
Thank you. Other than that, Logan Paul goes over.
Again, I'm going to take the same...
Opposite?
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. Logic, not logic. Logan Paul. If he's
WWE's logic, not real
right.
logic. Right.
He should
take what
they're
going to do.
He should get a win if he's going to be a consistent wrestler or semi-consistent, but I could see Seth Rollins beating him just to make the crowd pop.
We'll find out. Hell in a Cell. Edge versus Demon Finn Balor. Rumors that Gangrel is actually going to be joining in, which would be cool because I heard he's actually in some in-ring shape and he could be doing some spots with Damian Priest.
There you go.
Rhea and Dom are obviously busy WrestleMania weekend, so that could be kind of cool. I have to assume Edge goes over on this.
Yeah, because, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, even if this is Edge's last match, you don't really need to give Finn the rub. He's fucking almost as much of a veteran as Edge is at this point. So,
at this point, exactly. Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Gotta be Asuka.
I see where you're coming from. She is a credible person to take the title off Belair to allow her to do something else, but again, I just don't know. Just because she got the gimmick change, I don't think they're going to push Asuka the way that they should. I'm pessimistic about it. I say Belair retains.
Well, yeah, I mean, shit, look at Bray Wyatt. You're absolutely right.
There you go.
Just because you have a gimmick change doesn't mean something good's going to happen. We've talked about this match, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. I want Rhea Ripley to go over. I hope Rhea Ripley goes over. But then there's the WWE. Charlotte is the queen. She is the Ric Flair of the women's division. I got to say, I wouldn't be shocked if Flair wins, but I'm pretty sure Rousey takes it. Not Rousey, I'm sorry. Rhea Ripley takes it this one.
Yeah, this is the one I'm going to give my prediction based on my heart. I'm going with Rhea Ripley.
Thank you. Well, we did a couple of years ago, the pandemic one.
Yeah.
We gave it with our heart, and that was a stupid decision, but we'll try one more time.
Usually is.
The Intercontinental Championship match, which I think will likely steal the entire weekend, unless the tag titles do. But it'll be Gunther defending against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus in the triple threat match. Just going to be chop and kick fest, and I'll be happy with it. A lot of beefy men. WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships will be defended as the Usos
Are we not
take on
giving
Sami
our?
Zayn.
Are we not?
Nope. We're not predicting shit. My bad. Yeah. I think it's kind of. There's no way unless Monday Night Raw you are about to make Gunther your very next person that goes after Cody or some shit. Like you are going hardcore. He's got to retain. But I don't see Drew winning. I say it's got to be Sheamus if there's to get his full story of becoming the Grand Slam.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I wouldn't be shocked about that. I think this would be a good time to take the title off Gunther if you're going to start putting him in that main event feud with Cody. Because ultimately, I think they could headline next WrestleMania, and I'm sure they're going to build to it. But again, nobody gets over in this, other than Sheamus's Grand Slam completion. So I say Gunther's just going to retain it.
Same here. But yeah, the Tag Team Championships, Usos versus Sami Zayn and Owens. Oh, man. I don't think that the championships necessarily have to change hands. I think the moment of all this together and making the cracks crumble in the bloodline is already there. But it would make sense to have them lose a Tag Team Championship night one, making Roman really fucking worried heading into night two, making that bloodline storyline continue. However, the only thing you need to do is just make sure that your hot tag is Sami Zayn. That's your only job to do in this entire match.
Pretty much.
Is make sure that Sami Zayn is the hot tag.
Yeah, good call.
Not Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and make it a hot tag, not a fucking lukewarm tag.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just don't randomly do it. He comes in, keeps wrestling, doing all that shit. Make it like it's the last saving thing, and when he does, you want to make the crowd pop with that hot tag.
100%.
That's the whole point, obviously.
100%.
Who do you think wins?
So, I mean, I could see it going both ways. It could be Sammy and Kevin don't win, and one of them turns on the other. But I think the way to do this is you don't want to do that. Them being back together is something...
No, the turn's too early. I know what's going to happen, not now.
So, let them win the titles. Take it off the Usos. The Usos split up. Jay goes out on his own. I mean, he is the main event Jay. So, fucking... I could see that happening. So, I'll say Sammy and Kevin.
Man, how crazy would it be if from 2020 and then into 2023, if Jay Uso, or it was 2021 when he had those matches with Roman, but if Jay Uso was your main event guy again, I would like it, to be honest with you. I was all for it when he proved himself to me in Hell in a Cell and Night of Champions a couple years ago. Cena versus Austin Theory. I don't think Cena needs the win, so I assume Austin Theory. I don't even care if it's with cheating.
Same.
But it's going to open up WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah. Give the crowd get a pop for Cena.
Yeah. And your WWE Universal Heavyweight Undisputed World Galaxy Undisputed Universal, the championship. Roman versus Cody. I'm going to say Roman retains.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going with Cody.
All right. I just feel like I get it, that it's the legacy of Cody, my daddy, yada, yada, yada. I say Roman keep it a little longer. It's almost like, because everybody thinks it's so inevitable, don't do it. Didn't we all think Roman was going to win at WrestleMania 34? We all thought Roman was going to win, and Lesnar ends up retaining. We were like, oh, shit, we were booing for the wrong reason. Thank you. All right. So maybe you do that with this. It's an idea.
Yeah, I think
it's
it's
WWE,
time.
man.
I think it's time to move on and fucking... Let's
We'll
see if Cody
out.
can maintain the momentum. You know?
Fair enough.
He's hot as hell right now, but once he has the title, is it just going to be same old shit, or is he going to do something?
Could be just like Becky Lynch. She had her moment at WrestleMania 35,
know, right?
and everybody's like, well, thanks, that's enough. Because then she ends up fighting Lacey Evans. All right, man, look at a couple of, last week we talked about it, it's open to perception when you talk about certain things. I said, hey, man, we should do all-time WrestleMania cards. And I had said we should take cards, or make one card out of matches that have already existed. You heard, man, I'm going to do an all-time fantasy draft. And that's cool.
Something
it
like
works
that.
both
Something
ways,
like that.
and they became exciting to see. But we had parameters, 10 matches, that's it. 10-match WrestleMania. I mean, that's pretty much what they do nowadays, a 7-hour WrestleMania. But the stipulations had to be a certain amount of matches, and you can only use each wrestler once. So you had to have a battle royal, a U.S. title match, 2 different matches that were in any stipulation match. So anything you want, and stipulations could be no DQ, Iron Man, Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank, retirement, anything. An Intercontinental Championship match, tag team title match, a celebrity match, a women's championship match, any random singles match, and then, of course, a world title match. So, my all-time WrestleMania card, again, I have to have a Battle Royal, so I have one of those. I have, actually, I'm sorry, I accidentally looked at yours. That's why I said Battle Royal first. My bad. So, in order of mine, I said I was going to kick it off nice and hot, and I went right in order on how I wanted to do this. This is, if I had to find someone who was like, I've never seen a WrestleMania, I'm like, how do I show them 38 fucking WrestleManias to get them prepped for WrestleMania 39? I'm going to show them these 10 matches, but I'm going to make it like it was one event. So you start off hot, man. The very first Money in the Bank ladder match. That is WrestleMania 21. So you got Edge, Chris Benoit, Kane, Christian, Shelton Benjamin, and Chris Jericho. So the fun part about doing this, man, so many guys are just out now. There goes my Benoit in the main event match I would have loved to see. The women's, and by the way, whoever wins in every one of those matches in real life is what this would be, obviously.
Gotcha.
The women's championship match. Man, you have a lot of women's championship matches that have happened throughout the years at WrestleMania. But if you want to put one that showcases talent and it's a good, decent match all around, I like WrestleMania 32. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. That's when they got rid of the word diva and became the women's championship match, and that was in Dallas. U.S. championship match. Man, I kept thinking about every U.S. championship match that ever happened at WrestleMania, and none really will ever be bigger than when Rusev came out to the Russian national anthem. Cena came out. I mean, it was a big fight feel. The outcome, not necessarily what we wanted, but at the same point, big fight feel, and it was huge. Tag team championship match. I had to get a little quirky with this one because I kind of use guys in so many different ways. I'm like, well, there goes TLC once I put Christian in the first match. But the tag team championship match is actually a personal favorite of mine, and it was from WrestleMania 6. The Colossal Connection. Andre the Giant and Haku defending and losing the titles to Demolition. And this is where Andre infamously leaves the Heenan family. Paintbrushes Bobby the Brain Heenan in the corner with a bunch of slaps. I love that part. Up next, now the crowd was a little bit calmed down during that tag team match. Let's get them jacked up because in my next stipulation match, submission match, Bret Hart versus Steve Austin. Obviously.
Yep.
With Ken Shamrock as your referee. And the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the very first one that happened at WrestleMania 30. That was my Battle Royal that I chose. That's where Cesaro, as we remember, lifts up Big Show, throws him over the top rope. This one, just so you know, because we're trying to make this a nice all-star kind of event, this involved Cesaro, Big Show, Ziggler, Del Rio, Miz, Sheamus, Mysterio, Kofi, Big E, and Xavier Woods. They weren't even a team at this point. Mark Henry, Cody Rhodes, Goldust, Damian Sandow, Brad Maddox, the guy that likes to jerk off to porn, Yoshi Tatsu, Brodus Clay, Zack Ryder, Great Khali, Darren Young, Titus, Gabriel Otunga, Truth, and 3MB, and Santino. Kind of all-star.
Kind of.
Intercontinental Championship match. There's a lot, man. I mean, one of my favorites, of course, was Brett and Piper, but again, I just lost Brett in that last match. So you go with the classic that everybody does, and I'm sure you all are thinking it as well. Randy Savage and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. Again, you want to put the best of the best on a WrestleMania here. Celebrity versus wrestler match. Nope, I definitely wasn't doing Floyd Mayweather.
Thank God.
Or anybody else that's ever wrestled. One of my favorite ones really was the boxing match, WrestleMania 2, Roddy Piper and Mr. T. It just went off the rails, and you don't know what's shoot, what's not, and it was just great to see. I liked it. Up next, your 9th match is your world title match. What? That's not going to main event? Yeah, we'll see why. World title match, WrestleMania 30. I got to dip into that pay-per-view one more time, man. It was Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Batista. Solid match, solid ending to cap off for a guy trying to get the big championship win. I liked it. But the match that should have main evented a WrestleMania and didn't is WrestleMania 25, and it's this one right here. The main event match is The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. To me, I think you put those 10 matches in front of someone, I think they've seen the best WrestleManias they've ever really need to see all together.
Yeah.
Minus a couple matches.
Well, I mean,
but I didn't want to make this, a 30-man or a 30-match night. I knew you'd get mad at that.
Right, and it's difficult too because just of not being able to reuse people. So I mean, being able to pull the right matches, and you still end up with a really solid card there.
I was okay that I didn't use Hogan.
Oh no, 100%.
Oh well,
100%.
All right, man. Well, now it's talking about your fantasy. And no. I don't mean what you and Greg Maddox.
Let's not get into that.
Or not Greg Maddox or Brad Maddox.
Jeez.
All right, man. Hit it up. What do you got?
All right. I started with a Battle Royale because it was just filled of people that I didn't pick for matches. So this is what this Battle Royale looks like. It's a pretty star-studded one. I haven't picked a winner. I don't think it matters. You got Hogan, Flair, Rick Rude, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko, Cesaro, McIntyre, Sheamus, Lesnar, Kane, Big Show, Nash, Batista, Steamboat, Cena, Angle, Edge, Christian, the Hardy Boys, The Shield, Cactus Jack, The Rock, and Booker T.
Cue the meme of the guy in South Park in his basement. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. And again,
who do you have winning this star-studded battle royal?
You know what? I didn't pick a winner for this one because it's just a fucking shit show. Let's say Angle.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it. Sure. 2. This one, this all started with 2 matches I had in my head. This one I'm pretty proud of. I think it's something we never really... I don't know if they ever did wrestle. But, I
don't believe they did.
You got to think about this. When I'm talking about these matchups, we're talking peak of their career. Even if at different times.
Every one of them are peak wrestling. Yeah. Yes, correct.
Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero.
Be a classic match. And no, they didn't get to tangle because by the time Michaels came back, Guerrero was solid on SmackDown at all times, and he was on Raw. They just never had the chance to cross paths. That sucks.
Yeah.
That would have been a great match.
There you
Who
go.
wins?
U.S.
Wait, do you have winners on any of these, did you say, or no?
What's that?
Do you have winners on all of these, or no?
I was just going to riff as I did it. I think HBK would have gotten a win on this one. He's the showstopper.
Fair enough.
Mr. WrestleMania. Next, we had a U.S. title match. I wasn't really sure. I didn't go based off people who held it, although I think one of them did. Benoit, I believe, was a former U.S. Title holder.
Oh, yeah, he was.
And I figured a good matchup for him would be the Macho Man.
Both have quite the history with their wives.
They indeed. Wow. Yeah, but one of them killed his wife. The other had his ex-wife killed by somebody else.
Fair enough.
Lex Luger.
I think this match right here, I say if you have heel, who's heel?
Ooh, I'll say Macho.
Macho wins.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. There you go. Next is a match that we did get once, but it wasn't at peak performance for one of them, and actually for, well, one of them at least. For the IC title, Chris Jericho versus Kurt Hennig.
I think IC Championship, to me, when everybody uses the words IC Championship and Workhorse, everybody thinks Bret Hart, and they always think Mr. Perfect. That's like one of the first two names you think of.
Sure.
And then Shawn Michaels. I think Hennig wins this match.
Yeah. Because we would do probably babyface Jericho, heel Hennig.
Absolutely. Dude, in total span of his entire career, I think Kurt Hennig was face like 6 days.
Right. Yeah.
It was like a span of 93 or something like that. Or
yes.
whatever. Like very little time.
And I think it was when he wasn't even wrestling.
Exactly. He was a commentator and shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. So next, the Revival, just because that was their WWE name, versus LOD. A Hoss match.
That's a tag team championship match.
Yep, tag team championship match. I think the Revival are heel like they were in WWE. LOD are obviously the fucking faces, and I think LOD takes the upper hand on this one. The Revival put on a hell of a match, but they put them over.
That's exactly how I'd see it. And again, I'm looking at these matches. You have them in an order, and you just had a heel win the last match. You definitely have the faces go over in this match here. You have to have a rhythm, and all about LOD winning that one.
Sure. So next, women's title. Yeah, I didn't want to, because I would say Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, because they're both fantastic, but we're working on our second one. So Rhea Ripley versus Mickie James would probably be a pretty good match.
Yeah, all about that. That would be a great match.
And just because I'm a fan of Ripley, I say she would be the face, Mickie James would be the heel, and Ripley would get the win.
I'm on board.
Next. Did you cream in your pants when you saw this one?
This one I liked.
Yeah.
This is like one of those matches you never were going to ever be able to get because Bret was already fucked up by Goldberg at this point.
Yep. So next match would be an Iron Man match, and Bret Hart versus AJ Styles. Could you imagine?
It would be sick, and I think I know who I would pick. Who do you have winning?
It's tough. But I feel like I have to go with Bret Hart. I mean, you could, it's hard because you can't use their true ages, so you can't be like, well, you're the vet. And,
no, it's peak and peak.
You know what I mean? It's peak and peak, right, yeah, so.
I think he wins the way he beat Piper at WrestleMania 8. You kick off the rope and reverse that sleeper hold, and you get the pin while you're on top of them as you're still in that sleeper hold. Something like that. It's a quick roll-up or something like that. It wouldn't be through the submission of the sharpshooter, and for AJ, he wouldn't just get a clean win with the elbow. I think it would be a quick roll-up, something like that. So that's why I say Bret would take the win.
There you go. All right.
I can't wait to hear how you explain this one.
Well, we had to do a celebrity versus wrestler match, and I'm like, oh, God, who would be a halfway decent, Mr. T was at least big and I guess semi-athletic. And I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Triple H is being played out by Lemmy and Motorhead one night, and maybe Lemmy misses a bar or fucking something like that, and Triple H is like, you fucking crusty old slag, and just beats down Lemmy, so we get Triple H's versus Lemmy.
And Lemmy wins because, trick question, Lemmy is a god.
Yeah, exactly. No, probably because he just takes a swig of the rest of the whiskey in a bottle and bashes it over Triple H's head.
Has that mic stand that's up really high in the air, but has the microphone peaked downward.
Yep. There you go. All right, next. The next two matches are the ones that got this whole thing started.
Yep.
And again, your world title match will not be in the main event. Don't ask me why, but again, It just sounds awesome.
Sounds better this way than it did at WrestleMania 18.
Exactly. Austin versus Scott Hall. When I say Scott Hall, I mean Scott Hall.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just work well together. Austin's the face, Hall's the heel. Again, they both are, classically trained wrestlers. You wouldn't know it based on Austin's just mudhole stomps, and Hall really never getting a chance to do much except take bumps. But, I'd love to put the title on Hall, and that's the way that I would book it, just because I feel like Hall should have been a world champ at some point. I believe he was in the AWA, but yeah. So
I'm all about it. I think like I said, it's better than WrestleMania 18. That to me was just, let's just put some people together in a match that has WWF versus NWO.
Yep, pretty much. Main
event.
And then the main event match. And it should be the main event match. Undertaker versus Sting, Hell in a Cell. The Phenom versus the Icon.
Taker headlining WrestleManias. That's cool.
Awesome, right? So, yeah.
And a Hell in a Cell with Sting. That's sick.
Icon versus Phenom.
Taker wins.
Yes, 100%.
It's fucking WrestleMania.
Yep. Goddamn right.
I love it, man. That was fun. Like I said, different perception of what we wanted or planned on doing, but once I saw your list and mine, I'm like the first thing it got me, I was like, when the fuck did Lemmy take on Triple H? I think I missed this match.
It was a fever dream.
What the fuck happened? Yeah, it felt like it. Look at, not only do you have WrestleMania, but if you're a real hardcore WWE fan, you're going to have Monday after Mania, right? I think SmackDown could have some decent pops, but
sure,
your Raw is where your biggest one's at. So hope you guys are ready for that too. It's going to be a big weekend, and I want to throw some of my favorite ones out there real quick from Monday after Mania. Shawn turning face the day after WrestleMania 11 after losing to Diesel to try and win the championship. Takes a bunch of power bombs from Sid. All of a sudden, he's back together, two cool dudes with attitudes, and he's a face again. It's okay, guys. Forget the last year and a half when he was a dickhead. WrestleMania 12, we've covered this one. The debut of Mankind coming in and beating the fuck out of Taker. We just talked today about X-Pac, the new DX, the new attitude, porn stars, titties, fires. WrestleMania 17, after that was over and Austin turned heel, don't forget, not only did he sign the deal with the devil of Vince McMahon, that's the night after WrestleMania is when him and Triple H put together the two-man power trip, is what they're known as. Doesn't last very long because Triple H couldn't carry all the weight of the team on his quads. 2002, right after WrestleMania 18, not only did the next big thing arrive, Brock Lesnar, Hulk Hogan had one of the longest receptions coming home on Raw right after WrestleMania 18 because it was still in Canada. We apparently didn't like him in the US, but Toronto, it's all right. WrestleMania 19, The Rock is in the ring and you get the debut of Goldberg. Don't worry, he'll be gone the next year. WrestleMania 24 had the Ric Flair retirement party, but also the slow little build between Batista and Shawn Michaels because Batista was mad that he retired his mentor. WrestleMania 26, Shawn gives his retirement speech and HBK left the building. The night after WrestleMania 27, Jesus Christ, the longest 1 year wait for a match ever, Rock and Cena. Oh, God. The next year after, you thought Cena, returning the favor, saying, Rock, come on out, let's shake hands, let's, we had 2 matches 2 years in a row. Lesnar comes out after being away and in the UFC for so many years, and he's back in the WWE. It was awesome in that moment, but little do we know, 2 years later, we're all going to be cursing the fuck out of his name for even being in the business. He wrestles 4 times a year. Fuck this dude. He's got the best calendar. WrestleMania 29, the night after, damn. Ziggler cashing in and winning the World Championship is still one of the best after-Mania moments of all time. And WrestleMania 30, not Undertaker, oh God, basically. Ultimate Warrior gave his own pre-eulogy to the fans, saying that someday your heart will stop beating. Mine will be tomorrow morning. And weird enough, wore a fucking cardboard mask.
Yeah.
That's the last vision I have of that fucking dude. He didn't even put the paint on. But we also had a bunch of NXT call-ups and injury returns, of course. That always happens. So maybe this year we're going to get a return from somebody. Maybe the night after WrestleMania we'll get someone.
Jay White? Jay White could show up.
You know what? He hasn't shown up in WWE or in AEW, so now I think it is pretty affirmative. I will give it to that. I think that could be a good call, and if it happens, I'll let you take it. But guess what? Happy WrestleMania weekend, fuckers. It's been a long show. I'm ready to get out of here. Hope you guys are ready for this big weekend. And if you are in LA, hide your kid, hide your wives, and hide your money, as apparently you read on that post I talked about earlier. Next week, we're back talking about the results of WrestleMania. We'll be talking about a movie of the week. We got Bring It to the Table. We got Monday Night Wars. And next week, much like right now, ODM is going to have 5 words when we leave you.
Longest episode ever. Jesus Christ. How long are these fucking things going to be? God, take it on my goddamn time. Can't even get it. Goddamn.
I just counted like fucking 27 words.
The Top of Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by The Top of Wrestling Podcast. Your hosts are the Professor Mark Fantasia and ODM, the Doc, Joe Rizzo. Feel free to reach out to the show by email at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com, on their Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. You can listen to the show on most popular platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Without your continued support, it would be just some guys talking wrestling, which is pretty much what it is anyway. Good night, folks. Babe!
Yo, because I wasn't looking at you and I only have the pod in my ear, you actually scared the balls out of me. You still on the call?
Are you bleeding?
You on the call?
You bleeding? Yeah, you're bleeding.
Hang on.
I was going to say, why don't you get up and go check?
Fuck yourself.
My dick's not long enough.
Hey.
Hey, baby.
Yo, computer's off and everything. She's already out the door. Been sitting here with my dick in my hand for no reason.
Hey, baby.
Hey. Go home. I got kids' feet.